started the stream. I should probably tell people that I'm streaming. Same to you as last time. Kung Fu Honey. I might even put a link to it in the description of the stream VOD this time. So let me just let everyone know that I'm streaming, and then we'll get started. Nobody voted in the poll. At least as far as I can tell. Yeah, nobody voted in the poll. So, I did a little bit of looking, and it turns out that this game only has 2 other endings. So I was thinking we could go through those, and then move on to the next game that I have in mind. I have a couple other VNs lined up, so let me just point out. Other 2 endings of this, my soul. Then move on to a different one. Different VN. Come drop by. Alright, now that everyone is aware that this is happening, chat and just move a couple of windows around so I can actually see the chat. Yeah, I can see people if people are talking. Okay, so let's start a new version and then we'll hit fast skip. Do you want to skip to unseen dialogue or the next choice? Yes. Oh my. So last time I think we tried to sit up, so let's cry out for help this time. Is anyone there? You feel the sound of your own weak voice being swallowed by the surrounding darkness, almost like you're trying to scream with a thick blanket over your head. A pretty pointless exercise, and definitely not worth the pain that follows. It feels like a small creature with claws is trying to tear its way out of your throat. The agony is actually enough to prod your body into movement. You try to raise one hand and massage the ache, but realize you can't. Your arms and legs are strapped in place by thick metal restraints. A table of some kind, then. Yeah, then we've done this, so let's hit fast skip. Yes, next unseen dialogue. Okay, yeah, so we didn't really skip that far. Why did I do that? We tried to calm ourselves last time, so let's panic. Someone help! Hysteria creeps into your voice as you continue to shout. Can anyone hear me? Help! The air inside your tiny chamber starts to feel heavy just as you hear a tinny voice on the other side of the wall answer you. 1 moment, please. You stifle your sobs as well you can, desperate to hear that voice, any voice, again. Before you can do anything else, a series of electronic beeps signals that someone is standing directly outside your chamber. And we've seen this before, let's just hit normal skip though. We'll go with Kindle still, as in last time. Yes, I do want that name. He nods, acknowledging your answer. Skip. Okay, so last time we were the archivist. Let's be a mechanical engineer. Memories of constant maintenance requests and occasionally working with androids similar to this one come to mind. You can't help but wonder where your fellow gearheads are now and why they aren't the ones helping you out of the situation. Some of them were friends after all. I see. Very well then. We'll hit skip again. I'll make sure that's not important. It's an email. It's something from my university that I can get back to later. That shouldn't be possible. What kind of... Yeah, let's say it's an attack this time, because we thought it was debris last time. I do not have all the facts, but I believe the accident was caused by simple human error. So we'll be hitting a lot of the skip button this stream because we're trying to get 2 endings as quickly as possible. How long have I been out? I doubt we have enough supplies to make it all the way home. I don't remember which one we picked, so let's pick this one. I think we've read this already. Oop. Unfortunately, your pod is an older model and not suitable for any kind of extended use. He shifts, looking uncomfortable. We may have already stretched beyond its limited capabilities. Excuse me, skip. Thank you. Yeah, this one looks like a new one. We didn't get this choice last time because we weren't an engineer. Let me take a look at the pod. Let me take a look at the pod. I'm sure I can figure out a way to bypass its limitations, and it'll give me something to do. The android's cool expression turns infinitesimally cooler. Only members of the maintenance crew are authorized to use specialized equipment on this vessel. As I strongly suspect our previous misfortune was due to human negligence, I believe it would be wise not to take any action that might tempt fate a second time. That's BS and you know it. It could help us. As an android, aren't you programmed to do what I tell you within reason? How is asking to help out unreasonable? Fine, fair enough. Let's be snide, because we weren't snide last time. My human safety protocols prohibit me from allowing you to take any action that I deem would put your life at unnecessary risk. These protocols effectively override any directive that compels me to obey you, as humans are not above self-harm, carelessness, or taking action that could harm others. And then we skip some. And then we skip some more. And then we skip quite a bit more. We think about the LAS model. Actually, let's think about what we did now. The LAS model made it clear that he had a plan in mind to get the ability to safety, but there's many long hours of travel ahead of you. Let's skip. You can always roam the ship in your downtime and look for something mechanical to tinker with. The Model 51 declared the engine room and cryo chamber are off limits, but you're fairly sure an older craft like this probably isn't running at optimum efficiency anymore. No harm in checking under the hood. Mindful of wasting any excess water. Oh my. Mindful of wasting any excess water, you regretfully turn off the warm spray and wring out your hair. We are once again shocked to see Silas. Right there. He's bemused at the violence of your reaction, holds out a bundle of cloth to you as a sort of peace offering. You are awake, that is good. That is good. We're going with the that is good answer this time. It's impossible to cover all your important bits like we have before. He blinks once slowly and we hit skip. Let's also be just incredibly indignant. That was a life or death situation. Righteous indignation. A sense of righteous indignation swells within you even as you punch your arms through sleeves with a burst of renewed energy. A reasonable person would assume they had some privacy, especially on board a ship like this with only one other occupant. Sorry, I was making sure that wasn't important. Whether he's an android or not, he has no right to barge in on you the way he did. You are angry with me. Skip. We skip over the... We already made the airplane noises joke. Let's be unhappy about the food. Androids never roll their eyes, but he once again almost rolls his eyes. Let's count bites this time rather than trying to talk to him, because I feel like that's one of the endings we're going for is the, friendship ending, I think is what it's called. You mentally count off every bite you force yourself to consume, chewing a minimum number of 15 times each. The process is tedious and slow, but your hunger pushes you forward and your focus on the task makes swallowing possible. Eventually, you manage to clear your plate. The android nods, gesturing that you should drain your glass as well. You oblige. Should not oblige, this is hot tea. I'm not gonna oblige. I'm not gonna actually oblige. I think oh no, I didn't leave my... I could oblige and drink just this entire bottle of water, which is also just a bad idea, because we'll have to go pee later. I'm gonna have to drink water, though. Oh, I'll drink some water for realism's sake. We did oblige. Before you can clear away your mess, he does it for you with considerable efficiency. Thank you, Model 51. His movements pause. His icy blue eyes dart up to meet yours for a second before he resumes his activity, carefully stacking your empty glass on top of the tray. Illis. You don't quite catch the word. He mumbles it very quietly. I'm sorry? There is no need for apologies. Silas is what my first creator called me. It is my name. He hurries away to dispose of your trash before you can make any sort of comment, so he can't be like, oh, I get it. Like last time. Well, like we would have. Like we didn't do last time, rather. Bewildered, all you can really do is watch as he seems to drag its feet on the way up to the waste chute, stop and rather excessively straighten the food dispenser's console before finally making his way back to where you sit. He speaks loudly as soon as he's near enough, talking over anything you might think to say. If you are ready, we should proceed to the fitness center. With the unfamiliarity of full belly weighing you down, you have to rely on Silas more than ever, especially since we're sleepy. And since we were sleepy last time, we'll hit skip. Skip. I don't want to click the oddly attracted button because it's not the route we're going for, so let's complain about our own body's reaction, to put it in a more family-friendly manner, I guess. The turn your thoughts have taken would not normally be an issue, but you currently have an advanced robotic entity taking your pulse, and not a person. That is very disconcerting. Your heart rate should not be so high in your current state. If anything, it should be lower than average. Embarrassment washes over you with the lack of control you have over your body's responses. It gets worse when he suddenly cups your rapidly warming cheek with his palm. Maybe we shouldn't have chosen this one. Your skin is flushed. I made it Your skin is flushed. I made it to take your temperature to ensure there's no fever. I'm not sick. How do you know? He phrases the question politely and reasonably, despite what I assume is going to be a very impolite and unreasonable response coming from us very soon. There is no way we're going to answer that on stream. We're a family-friendly ship here. I did already intend to take your temperature, miss. At your stubborn look, Silas gives you a very human-sounding sigh and gets up to retrieve a thermometer. You submit to the unnecessary test. Anything to avoid that particular awkwardness is worth it in your book. He gives a soft hum of surprise at what you assume is a completely normal readout, but thankfully makes no further comment. You inwardly breathe a sigh of relief and click skip to try and make this go faster. Oh, swoon! I kinda want to pick the swoon one, even though that's not the route we're on. We're gonna swoon anyway. I don't care. He might just not get it. His arm shoots out with impressive accuracy and steadies you with a gentle grip around your elbow. Your theatrics have him furrowing his brow in furious confusion, however. You seem very odd for a human. You laugh, tired beyond belief, and possibly finding the situation a lot more humorous than it really is. Clearly deciding he can't leave you to navigate the halls alone in your giddy state, Silas frowns and tries to adjust his grip without letting you fall. Taking your arm, he gingerly wraps it around his own in a much closer, more gentlemanly approximation of the way he helped you earlier. And skip. What is it? Oh, yeah. With your arm folded in his, the two of you look like a close approximation of a man dropping off his date on her doorstep after a night out. You giggle a bit at the thought. The thought is more disturbing than you're ready to... Yeah, let's be disturbed at it. If he senses your disquiet, he really doesn't comment on it. Rest well, miss. I will be here when you wake up. You nod slightly and watch as he turns to make his way to the navigation room. A head shake and a clumsy handful of solo steps later, you're inside the cabin, collapsing on your bunk with a soft grunt. You're so exhausted by even this level of physical activity that we've done this already and we can hit skip. Lie still. Let's lie still, because getting out of bed was a stupid idea and we could have injured ourselves. Because we went for the intercom last time, too. Moving further seems like a physical impossibility anyway, given our current state. As the minutes tick by in silence, you try to valiantly ignore the rising discomfort from your bladder and worry that Silas might be coming to check on you after all. Finally, when you consider revisiting the idea of moving yourself, you hear the telltale chime of your door being opened from the outside, and Silas enters, only to stop in his tracks once he catches sight of your prone form lying on the floor near your bunk. He blinks, betraying his confusion. And I think we've done this scene before. Yes, you seem to have regressed somewhat, so we'll skip. Well, since you're offering... let's be stubborn. Let's be as stubborn. Oh wait, no, were we stubborn last time? Whatever, we're being stubborn again. I don't want to become reliant on silence. Let's hit skip. And then we skip quite a bit. Let's ask him if he was damaged by the same explosion, because we tried to ignore him last time, I think. You watch him out of the corner of your eye for a moment, trying to figure out the best way to phrase your question. You haven't been feeling any odd effects after the explosion, have you? I mean, the concussive force was enough to knock me unconscious, so... You shift, not sure why the question sounds very intrusive. You take a bite of something on your tray, not really paying attention to what. I know your body has much better shock absorption than mine, and I suppose you've considered this already, but I don't know if you're capable of performing maintenance on yourself, so I thought I'd ask. I mean, I know I'm more specialized in the field of broad industrial mechanics, but I figure if it's a hardware problem... Realizing that you're coming dangerously close to babbling, you fall silent, especially when you notice the odd expression on your companion's face. Your concern is appreciated. He seems to be choosing his words with care, pausing between each sentence. There have been some slight changes in my processes, though I am unsure if these are a result of the incident, or a result of having been attuned to your specific needs. I have never had my safety protocols activated before. He looks up and fixes you with the full weight of his blue-eyed stare. I doubt if there's anything to be worried about, however. If anything, the changes have helped me accomplish my task with greater efficiency. Regardless, I will submit myself for inspection once we reach Almathea. He looks down thoughtfully and you see his gaze land on your meal. You really should focus on consuming as much as you can, Miss Kendall. We've already consumed as much as we can before. Ask for foot rub because we didn't do that last. Actually, let's not say anything because we want to be a chill person. We work through the muscle groups like last time. And then he carries us places. Let's ask him if he's malfunctioning, cause worry. Turning his attention back to the door of your cabin which you've just reached, Silas opens it before deigning to answer. I am fine. He sounds a bit surly all of a sudden. He offers no explanation for his reaction. I think we've seen this. Yes, we have. Just dump me, I don't even care. Ugh. I do beg your pardon. His eyebrows are furrowed deeper than you've ever seen them. Dump you? Oh, that was not the right voice, I'm sorry. Dump you? Yeah, just toss me on the bed, it's fine. Silas doesn't move an inch. Some higher function in his programming, possibly the bit of code telling him to obey your wishes, is obviously warring with his inability to harm you. As silly and innocuous as your request was, I don't know why I'm yawning. You realize you might have just given him an order that he is unable to carry out. He surprises you by suddenly removing the covers from the bed. He gently dislodges your arms from around his neck and lowers you so your body is only about an inch or two off the mattress. Only then does he drop you. You look up at him with wide eyes before a genuine, if sleepy, laugh burbles out of you. One corner of his mouth twists upward in the android equivalent of a smirk, like, huh. Alright, yeah, I guess it was funny. You are a very difficult human. You continue to giggle sleepily as he gently proceeds to tuck the blanket around you. Dang it, that was an accidentally romantic choice. Hopefully the rest of our choices will balance that one out. Good tea. Good. When he turns to leave, you're left feeling cozy and much safer than you probably should be. But oh well. You try to stay awake a little bit longer to contemplate Silas and the strange synergy that seems to be developing between the two of you, but your battered muscles and medication-numbed brain went out in the end. And then we, almost die because pain medicine. And then we'll be like, dude, you are seriously may actually be broken. Let me look at you. He lifts his head to look at you, and it's as if a switch has been flipped at your words. Gone is the uncertainty. His hands drop back at his sides, and he nods agreeably. I believe that my... Ooh. He's an android, he doesn't burp. I believe that my AI has been compromised in some way, yes. Ooh, sorry. His tone and facial expression are both serene again. If I had the proper equipment, I could run diagnostics on myself, but the physical evidence is compelling. How should we proceed? What? You rear back in confusion as much as your cramped muscles will allow anyway, before Silas clarifies. I have proven myself unfit to make medical decisions on your behalf. Furthermore, my emotional display could indicate that I am too erratic to be entrusted with your physical safety in any capacity. Therefore, I will defer to your judgment on how we should proceed. Even taking your mistake into account, you're still my best shot at surviving, Silas. Listen, just don't let something like this happen again, and I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, just don't let it happen again, bro. He nods once, firmly. I will ensure that it does not. I believe you. With that settled and your companion relatively calm once more, he sets about helping you through the same stretches he used to get you out of bed last time, and we've done those stretches before, so let's hit skip. Are you inviting me to make a dirty joke? I really want to pick this one. Let's pick it. Your laughter draws a faint hint of a smile from the android. Watch me get the wrong ending because I want to pick the options that are only somewhat funny. Not at all. Current technologies. Oh. Did we? I think we've done it. Let's hit skip. Watch me get the wrong ending. If I get the same ending as last time, we're just gonna switch to another book. Okay? Let's worry. Actually, let's be paranoid boys. Were we paranoid boys last time? Now I'm worried. Let's be scared that we reacted badly to the medicine. Your hands shake a little as you rinse your toothbrush onto the faucet. People wind up in emergency centers due to accidental overdoses all the time. Or worse. You realize that you were very lucky not to slip into a coma or get some other lasting consequence happen to you. It might be wise to not take any more medication for the duration of the trip, or allow Silas the same amount of control he's had over you the last several days. Not because you blame him necessarily, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Mind made up, you finish up your afterbath ritual in contemplative silence, and then we hit skip. There's no need to stay. Get out of here. His expression doesn't twitch, but something about it gives off the impression that he suspects you're lying. Oh? Oh, yeah, because we didn't tell him that we were sleepy. You hold your breath without even realizing it. Eventually he offers you a short, polite nod. Of course, I wouldn't want to intrude on your evening. Please get some rest, miss. Thanks, Silas. Good night. He leaves swiftly, and you can't help but notice that he carefully maneuvers himself so that his body hides the small item that he was... We didn't get the data pad. Are we gonna get a bad end because we didn't get the data pad? The small item he was holding behind his back the whole time. Oh no! Well, we'll never know what it was now, except we know, and I'm sad! The thought of that bothers you, but not enough to consider calling him back. Oh, we skip. Relieved by this, we don't really trust him because he might be malfunctioning. Yeah, that seems in character for the choices we've made so far. And then we've read that. Oh, we didn't touch anything? Or, I was just looking at the access panel, I wasn't trying to go in. Let's lie. His eyes narrow in an expression that clearly conveys just how much he does not believe you. Perhaps I did not make this sufficiently clear to you when you first awoke. Only members of the maintenance crew are allowed past these doors. We've seen him this angry before. Skip. Is he hiding something? Yeah. Your hackles are up at this latest round of condescension. You wonder how a being of supposed higher intelligence can jump to conclusions like this without allowing you time to explain yourself. The injustice of this thought angers you enough that you hear a half-baked accusation come tumbling out of your mouth before you've even fully given it thought. I'm beginning to question... Sorry, that's Silas's voice. This is not Silas speaking. I'm beginning to question whether or not this is really about my safety, Silas. Oh my gosh. His humanoid eyebrows jerk upward in surprise. I do not understand your insinuation. You say you're not letting me in these rooms to keep me safe, but I think you know by now that I'm hardly going to run around pressing buttons and poking things. Whatever you think of me, you know I'm not an idiot. This seems like some kind of weird, repressed android power trip. Oh my. To punctuate your own statement, you glance meaningfully down at where his hand is still trapping your wrist. He follows your gaze and drops it swiftly. His expression turns dark with inner conflict, and you know that you've successfully gotten him to question his own actions. Oh, we're gonna get bad end. I mean, that's kind of what we were aiming for, though, right? Or were we aiming for the just pals ending? I feel like you get the romantic ending if you pick the right choices mostly. You get the neutral ending, I guess, is bad end, and then friendship ending is like if you picked some of the things, but not all of the things. It feels a tiny bit like you're exploiting his insecurities regarding his possibly scrambled programming, but you brush it off. You aren't a child, and this controlling behavior needs to stop. The two of you stare each other down. Your gaze is bold, while his is searching and unsure. I am forced to admit that I cannot fault your concerns, and I can't dismiss them with complete certainty. He looks away from you with a slight grimace, the picture of self-doubt. Perhaps, if you allow me to accompany you so that I may ensure you do not damage anything. We are very surprised at this. You never thought that you'd be able to change the android's mind. You were simply standing up for yourself. Your body is still stiff with shock when he strides to the door of the navigation room and adroitly punches in the code that will grant you both entry, and we've seen the scene where we draw constellations before already, so skip. I'm hitting skip, but it's only... There we go, I was gonna say. Couldn't you do something more productive? That seems like it'd get boring, yeah. Let's say ask him if he can't do anything more productive. He tenses under your scrutiny. And then we've seen all that before. If there's nothing else I can do for you, I'll return to the engine room and resume work on your cryogenic pod. You nod, pleased that he's making himself useful. The rest of the day passes slowly, and you're all too eager to return to your bunk to sleep. Maybe if you're lucky, the extra work Silas is putting into the pod will mean that you can return to cryosleep sooner than you thought. Feeling hopeful, you let yourself drift to sleep. Several days pass, and we fix our sleep, which we've done before. Oh, I don't want to make the dirty joke, but I really want to make the dirty joke. That's this entire game has been so far. There's a dirty joke option. I want to make the dirty joke option. Yeah, let's just make the dirty joke option. You smirk at the way his gaze skitters to the sides, shy as the teenage boys. He's not blushing. You doubt even he can blush, but his bashfulness is obvious and endearing even so. Then we skip a whole bunch of stuff. Do you have to? He pauses in the act of turning away before giving you a strange look. Yeah, and then we've talked about the cryopod already. Oh, I guess it's a priority. Talk to you later then, I guess. He nods to you, resuming his stride back to the door. Before leaving, he pauses in the threshold, looking at you with a strangely intense gaze. I took the liberty of acquiring a datapad for you to use in your downtime. You'll find it on your bunk when you return to your quarters. So we do get the datapad, we just don't know he was going to give it to us as a gift. Okay. Skip. Because we've resolved to thank him later because I need to speak with my family. You stay up late into the night speaking to your family. And the skip button doesn't work a little bit. It's a little bit too much like grave robbing for our taste this time. You need to contact your loved ones, though. It's a slippery slope, but you promise yourself you'll find out who the owner was and return to their next of kin if necessary. It might still have some personal information on it, after all. The digital clock tells you that it's been about a week since Silas gave you the device. And then we hit skip. Oh, what? Wait, we missed something. Let's just skip something. You've been training your body daily to pass the time and prepare yourself for re-entry into the pod. So it's a bit of a surprise when Silas informs you out of the blue one day that it's ready. So that's it then? It's safe to use? You glance toward the end of the hall where you know the cryopod lies waiting for you in the engine room. He follows your gaze, nodding confidently. Yes, your physical stamina is up to an acceptable standard, and my oversight of your diet has prepared you for cryogenic slumber, thanks to the additional 300 calories you've been consuming. You blanch before rounding on him with an enraged scowl. I knew my uniform felt tighter around the middle. He recoils a bit, looking completely befuddled by your reaction. It is illogical to be bothered by it. Gaining some weight is a necessary part of the... He falls silent at the very angry look on your face. My apologies. I should have informed you before making any modifications to your diet. It's fine. At least the high-calorie meals tasted better. Cross your arms, but let it go. You won't be putting up with it much longer. Considering the choices we've made during this run, let's say we're not putting up with much of him longer. You spend the rest of your day grumbling every time you see him, but have a hard time hiding the growing ball of nervous energy in your stomach. And for your last natural sleep cycle above the tiny maintenance shuttle, you spend a few hours composing messages for your loved ones, informing them of what's going on. When you finally switch it off and lay down in your bunk, you find yourself staring at the inside of your eyelids for a while. And I think we've done that before, so we skip. And then we skip a whole bunch. Don't get too lonely, ooh. I guess I'll see, yeah, let's just, don't get too lonely. The softening of his expression is barely perceptible, but you've gotten quite good at catching the little nuances. His lips kick up in that familiar half-smile of his. No human has ever been kind to me, except perhaps my creator. I know that my thanks are worth little to you, but I do extend my gratitude all the same. Please rest assured that I will fulfill my duty to you without fail. We will make it to Almathea safely. You nod in reply, satisfied that the two of you seem to understand one another, and turn toward the rung ladder. You climb to the top with Silas right behind you. It doesn't seem quite as tall when you were getting out of it a few weeks ago, but then you were half blind at the time, so... Once at the top, Silas carefully rotates the heavy handle and cracks open the hatch. You will have to drop inside, unfortunately, but I have decreased gravity in there enough that you should not hurt yourself regardless of how you land. How do I land? You bark, alarmed. He answers you with a calm, matter-of-fact tone. I would not recommend diving in head first, but any landing within reason should be practically harmless. The emphasis on the word practically makes your teeth clench a little, but you obediently drop in anyway. When the lesser amount of gravity inside the chamber slows your descent in accordance with his words, you relax a bit. I will be closing the hatch now, miss. I advise you to lie down on the platform for it was dark and the chemicals release. His words sound muffled when he closes the hatch, but you can still hear them if you concentrate. You hear the quiet, slightly alarming hiss of the knockout gas being released inside of the tiny enclosed chamber in an attempt to calm your racing heart like we have done before. Then we meet... You haven't heard it... What? Everything will be alright now, Miss Kindle. You've made it safely to Almathea. You freeze at the way he says your name. You haven't heard it spoken that way in a long time. With actual inflection and human emotion. I don't know how I feel about this CG. Your face looks a little weird. It warms you in a way nothing else these past few weeks has been able to. Miss, are you alright? You're better than alright. You're home. Even here among these unfamiliar faces on an unfamiliar planet, you are home. Paltry their lives are. So that's another one of the endings. We have one more left. Let's look at the gallery to make sure we do in fact have... Yeah, so we have one more ending to do, and it's the friendship ending, so... Yeah, let's try that. I mean, we have a ton of stream left. Fast skip to the first thing that we have not seen. Let's try and sit up with that just rough noise. We try to calm down because we hit skip, and then we meet Silas. What's up, Silas? How are you doing? We're still named Kindle, and let's be someone not very useful this time, I guess. Well, not useful to, like, our plight as of late. I mean, I don't mean to roast anybody, but, like, the mechanical engineer was really useful. Actually, the archivist was kind of one of those rules that didn't help our situation very much. Like, but the mechanical engineer would have been useful. The medical officer would have been useful. The cartographer would have been useful. Let's do the cartographer this time. You can't help but laugh at the irony. The mission was supposed to have been an easy, cushy gig for you. Cartographers are rarely needed anymore, especially with other staff on hand to repair anything that might go wrong with the nav systems, which leads you to wonder once more what accident the android is on about. Then we'll hit fast skip, because we just want to jump to the next thing. Oh, it goes to the next choice by default. It couldn't have been an attack, right? Fast skip to the next thing. How long have I been out? Fast skip to the next choice. I know where Almathea is. Actually, this is the unique choice because we picked cartographer. I know where Almathea is, actually. Maybe if you let me in the navigation room, I can chart us a faster, more direct route. The android's cool expression turns infinitesimally cooler, much like last time. We'll use normal skip this time. That's BS and you know it, it can help us. So, like, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure in the first run that I did of this, the BS and you know it, it could help us thing did not come up. Fine, fair enough. Ew. He blinks at your compliance. And then we hit skip. And then we wobble around a little bit in the ship to get to know things around, and then the shower. Let's think about what we'll do now, because we picked these other two options already. He has a plan in mind to get us to safety, but there's a lot of travel ahead of us. Hours that will be mind-numbing if we don't find something to keep yourself occupied. You grumble in frustration, knowing that if you could just get your hands on some maps, you could probably shave off a week's worth of travel time. Because of their programming, however, androids tend to go to the safest and least risky solutions in any situation that require them to make actual choices. even if the option they choose, even if the option they don't choose is more efficient. Maybe you'd be willing to budge on it if you ask at a later time. Mindful of wasting any excess water, just like the last 2 times we've done this, you regretfully turn off the warm spray and wring out your hair. We are shocked by the android again. Let's not be startled at this, because it's the only choice we haven't made. As you dress, your heart slows down to resume a normal, steady rhythm. You remind yourself that it's ridiculous to get worked up over this. You're very comfortable with yourself. I'm gonna pick this one. He's just a robot, lol. He's not like a man after all. He doesn't derive any pleasure from the sight. He isn't judging you. At that thought, you wonder why he didn't simply wait for you to be done in the shower before barging in, however. He's a laborer class android. He doesn't have any social sensitivity. Where's a skip? Blah blah blah. We've talked about this before. It's really ate it already. Ooh. Androids never roll their eyes, but this one wants to. Let's start up a conversation this time, because we want the friendly route, but not the you goofed. We land on his... Oh, you're a robot. That must be nice. He doesn't seem to want to tease you about your poor wording, and you almost chip your tooth on the quiche. And then we want to learn things, and he's confused by what we mean by "tell me your story, bro." You have a name? How do people distinguish you? He pauses. Most LES models have serial numbers that are used to tell them apart. I don't have a serial number. My creator called me Silas. Oh, I get it. Silas, like 51 in front of the loss. He nods agreeably, and you're halfway surprised to see the corner of his mouth tip upward a bit. You should finish eating, like you've done 2 times before. Let's be in real danger of falling asleep this time. Actually, no, let's be oddly attracted. And just like the last time we did this, and then he worries about our high pulse because I was thinking about something. Silas nods in understanding. Oh, I suspected that might be the case. Nothing to be concerned about. Oh my. You aren't sure which is worse, the fact that he's casually talking about your physical response to him, or that he noticed it at all. Briskly, he gets up to grab a blood pressure cuff from the first aid station and wraps it around your upper arm. No stethoscope? I can detect the vibration of your pulse without one. That's cool. Before long, Silas calls the examination to an end. With his assistance, you successfully make it into a standing position after a couple failed tries. Hang on, I want to check my settings to make sure I'm not skipping dialogue I've read. Yeah, skip scene messages. Scene messages, yeah. I'm just making sure, because like I didn't want it to be skipping things we've already seen. Good-do. I said skip. That's a weird little bug. Sometimes I'll click on the skip, but it just forwards the line once, and then I'll click on the skip again, and then it works. Ooh, swoon. Let's just be... fine, yes, help me. I know, I'm a weak human. Then we skip. Stay any longer, and I might have to invite you in for coffee. Ooh. He gives his head a short, bemused shake. Rest well, Miss Kindle. I will see you when you wake up. Gosh darn, this is good tea. Just to make sure I'm not, like, praising the water's taste, because I'm silly and I tried to reuse my tea leaves. No. That is the tea that tastes like that. Sometimes I just like get that way when I'm drinking tea. I'm like, wait, am I sure this isn't water? So I like drink some water and then like, yeah, no, this is tea and it's good. It's a very pleasant, like, I'm not sure. It's a very pleasant, like, kind of rounded sort of tea. You know how, like, sometimes if you, like, especially if you get, like, a cheap hotel black tea, it's very, like, just sharp and it's really harsh in its tea-ness. It very much just, like, begs to have something put in it so you can drink it. This is very much the opposite of that. It's like, I'm tea, but I'm a pleasant taste. That kind of like rolls over your tongue, and it's a good feel. It's good. And I mean, it seems to be high caffeine, given that I'm like, I can tell that I'm a little higher energy. He favors you with a small smile. Yeah, that's the right track we're on then. And then we hit skip. Let's struggle for the intercom, because I like that one better. I might just not be clicking the skip button correctly. Oh, I think I should be able to make it on my own, thanks. Be more stubborn. Actually, no, let's not be stubborn. Since you're offering... Skippity skippity skip. He says this of a... Hang on. Oh, the latrine is this way. He says this after apparently deducing you've forgotten where it is. This is the only logical reason you could possibly be hesitant after admitting the need to use it. You should probably wait outside. How can I assist you if I remain outside? The risk of injury in your state is high. He does make his point sound rather reasonable. No, some things are simply not negotiable. Swallow your knee-jerk reaction and accept. It's not as if he's an actual man. Let's swallow our knee-jerk reaction. Fine. I guess it doesn't matter what you see. What incredibly awkward friendship. Ew, what incredibly awkward friendship. No, friendship is the ending we're going for. What incredibly awkward visit to the latrine later. You're washed and feeling somewhat refreshed. Silas makes no comment, which is unsurprising, but a relief at the same time. Afterward, the two of you slowly make your way into the dining area, where he promptly leads you to the seat nearest the door. And then we skip, because we've done the food scenes before. Ask him about the current course. Make polite conversation. So are we still tracking to arrive on Almathea within the next 3 months? We should be past the Hathor Nebula by now. Oh, so dude. So. Should I remember this person's name? Sorry, I just so rarely get people in the chat. We're just dating a robot right now. We might be dating a book later. That's the next book in the docket, so to speak. It involves books and sleeping. Like the actual title is Book Sleep, I think. BookSLEEPer, maybe, I think is the title. Spoilers, I guess. We'll get to that after we finish this. Yes, although I think you're underestimating how much the explosion caused by the spirit displaced us. That's a follow. Thank you for following, Isaac the King 08. You put another face in the cup. Welcome to the igloo. I should really I wonder if I could design my own custom cup for the Bits Cup thing. That'd be nice if I could do it as the the stereotypical igloo shape with it's like a orb and then it has a little door and then flip it upside down and that be my Bits Cup. I'm gonna look into that because I like that idea. Thank you for following. We are far past the nebula, approaching Brisingamen. As in, Brizinger fire? Or sing amen? I don't know. Your eyes open wide at this news, and the bit of unidentifiable vegetable on your fork falls off. Really? Already? And it sounds like we're making great time. I doubt the remaining journey will take 2.5 months, let alone 3. Unfortunately, I factored in the time we would lose fighting gravitational pull from Brisingamen as well. Excitement tempered, you take another bite from your tray as urging, and try to convince yourself it's delicious. If we were in a larger craft, we could easily make up time going around, but as it is, our engines are not powerful enough to take us on an alternate route without adding 6 days more to our journey. That makes sense, but couldn't you? You should really focus on consuming as much as you can, Kindle, like we have 2 times before. Sorry, I'm trying to get all of the endings in this game so that we can move on to the next game. If you want the full, picture with this My Soul, there's a stream VOD coming up here in a couple days on my YouTube channel. But I could do that part myself. I could take off my shoes. He shifts his gaze to yours, brows turning up slightly in surprise. There is no need, miss. You shouldn't exert yourself unnecessarily, and the effort it would take to accomplish this task seems wasteful when I can easily complete it from here anyway. You bite your lip, understanding that he might just not get that some people feel uncomfortable being waited on. Service is to others what his entire existence revolves around. And then we repeat the exercise on the other leg, just like we have before. And then we, awkwardly put our arms around his head, hi. And he gets confused, and last time we were like, you're not functioning, are you? Because we were, a shween to him to try and get the bad ending. Sorry, I just thought this would be more comfortable. He smiles a bit at this. I require no apologies, but comfort seems redundant with your cabin so near. Unaccountably flustered, you turn your head and face forward, telling yourself that there's no reason in the galaxy for your cheeks to be red. None at all. No. No reason for us to fall for the android man. Once inside your room, Silas makes straight for the bunk you've been using and halts. I admit I do not know the protocol for this situation. Please instruct me on how you would like to proceed. Proceed to bed? Yes. Of all of the things to get hung up on, it's this. He's self-conscious about putting you in a bed. There's almost a choice, so I don't want to hit the skip button. It sounds ridiculous, and you know you'd be laughing if you weren't so utterly exhausted. Ooh, let's proposition him this time, because we hadn't the other 2 times. Ooh, climbing behind me this time. Silas doesn't react much to your teasing innuendo beyond blinking a couple slow times. When he speaks, his tone is perfectly bland, and you can't decide just yet if that disappoints you or not. That would be unwise as well as pointless. I do not require sleep as a human does, and spending too much time away from the navigation room could put us at the risk of missing potential... Never mind, I was just joking, you silly man. You sigh, taking the edge off any snark that might have slipped out due to fatigue. If you could just tuck me in before I pass out, that'd be great. He nods, and you can't help but notice that for an android he looks awfully relieved. Understood. You try to stay awake a bit longer to contemplate Silas and the strange synergy that seems to be developing between the two of you, but the demands of your battered muscles and medication-numbed brain win out in the end. You fall asleep quickly. You know what I should have done? I should have told the group chat, not just Boxing, but also the group chat that Kai just added me to, that I'm streaming and they should come watch. Let's do that. Okay, now that I've told the group chat, most of Boxing Club follows me on Twitter anyway, so they'll figure it out if they have time to get over here. You try to open your eyes, but we get dunked on by the pain medicine just like last time. The android is very worried. Well, we didn't pick the top answer last time. Hey, it's fine. See, I'm alright. Mistakes happen. Or, well, yes, but I'm okay now. So no lasting harm done. That's the one we picked first, and then we picked, I think we may need to consider the possibility that you've been compromised, Silas. The most recent run. So, your comforting words serve only to make his shoulders tense even further. I did not read a single word of that line correctly. Your comforting words serve only... One more time. Your comforting words serve only to make his shoulders tense even further. I just can't read it as only serves, so we're just gonna do that, and then we're gonna skip this. Skip. Yay. Silas, I'm not saying you didn't mess up, but decommissioning yourself is way too far. That's what we picked the first time. Do you think there's something wrong with you then? I think is what we picked the last time, so we'll pick the middle option this time. I really think you're making a bigger deal out of this than it needs to be. His eyes dart back and forth between yours, searching for something. Truth, perhaps? Skip, because we've already read this. We were invited to make a dirty joke last time. In the first one, I think I said I'm not sure, so yes, I think I am. Help me up. We shift our weight partially onto Silas and hit skip. We worried that Silas is malfunctioning the first time. We worried about our reaction to the medication last time, so we'll pick Be a Paranoid Boy about Silas this time. Something about Silas is not quite right. From his strange appearance to the emotional outbursts, you're not sure what exactly is going on, but he's proven that he can be a very real danger to you. Part of you even wonders if he could be purposely trying to hurt you. Your memory of the spirit's destruction is very vague still. You have no real proof that he rescued you other than his word, and that is really an extremely troubling thought. Oh my gosh. Good tea. It was very good tea. It was a good cup of tea. We may have a new tea next week. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Especially if the school forwards me my tea box that I get monthly. Stories of rogue androids or ones with faulty programming are widely believed to be fabricated and untrue, but android production companies tend to be outrageously wealthy. So, take the fakeness of those stories with a grain of salt, I guess. Theoretically, if such horror stories about their products were to leak to the general public, they would have many ways of discrediting them or sweeping them under the rug completely. Disturbed and a bit anxious, you finish up your post-bath ritual quickly and head back to your room. Inside the cabin, you jump, surprised to see that Silas is already waiting there for you. What are you doing? His brow furrows and he clasps something behind his back. The data pad! Are we gonna get it this time? I came to make sure you are right I came to make sure you are right, miss. He pauses before pointing out, I did say I would return. Right, of course you did. There's an uneasy beat of silence, and oddly enough, Silas is the one who breaks it. I take it you will be retiring soon, then. You're definitely feeling muscle fatigue at this point, but you're not all that sleepy. Let's ask him for company. Silas's blank look isn't very encouraging. His rigid stance shifts and his hands remain behind his back, obviously really just clearly hiding something from your gaze. What's that you got there? Is it the data pad? He goes very still. His eyes meet yours in an expression that on a human would classify, at least barely, as uneasy. On him, it really just screams of embarrassment. After a moment, he slowly withdraws the small bottle he's been... Oh, no, this isn't the data pad. After a moment, he slowly withdraws the small bottle he's been holding out of view and shows you the label. Oh my. Silas, that's a bottle of massage oil.
This is an excuse to put your hands on me, isn't it?
I really want to pick that. Just because it will make things more awkward between our character and Silas, because Silas is just really just shut down every time we've tried to make a dirty joke. I love it. So let's do that.
Admit it. Yeah, so you just want to touch me.
He opens his mouth to give a short reply, but then closes it again, shooting you a look that's almost endearingly confused. Mission accomplished! That's exactly what we were going for. I simply thought that the pain medication was dangerous. You may appreciate another method of coping with muscle pain and stiffness. I am sure that you are aware that androids possess no... how shall I say... proclivities toward physical contact. Take pity on the poor, clueless android and accept it with good grace. His words inflame your curiosity, but you let it go for now. Still, free massage. Wince when you recall just who you're teasing. Thanks, but I'm too tired. Let's take pity on him, because we want to be buddies this time. Thanks, Silas. A massage would be really wonderful. He nods, clearly satisfied with how this encounter is going. I will return shortly with a towel. You should find a comfortable prone position on your bunk in the meantime. And then we find a comfortable prone position just like last time, right? Oh no, we waffle this time. You follow his instructions, waffling for a moment before gingerly unfastening your uniform and pulling the arms out of the sleeves, because we're excited for a massage. The loose fabric gathers beneath your Words are hard, man. The loose fabric gathers beneath your chest as you lie down on the bed, bare from the waist up and head turned to one side. When Silas returns, he frowns a bit. You do not intend to Why can't I read these? I just read these the other day. You did not intend to let me massage your legs? Well, we did a pretty good job stretching them already. My back and shoulders are the areas that are giving me the most trouble right now anyway. We definitely read this before. I don't know why it's letting me skip. He continues to look dubious, but doesn't push, and instead motions for you to scoot closer to the edge of the bed. From this position, he can reach the muscle groups you mentioned from the seat on the mattress next to you. He opens the button. He opens the button because I was going to click the skip button. He opens the bottle of oil and rubs his hands together, and then we skip because we've seen this massage scene already. It's a shame there's no music. Yes, let's do that because we picked the "Where did you learn to give a massage" last time. You almost sigh in disappointment when his hands stop their slow kneading. One of them leaves your skin, but you're too comfortable to look up and find out why. Suddenly that's cool. Suddenly the opening strains of an acoustic guitar fill the air, soon accompanied by the steady pound of drums. A man croons and you look up at Silas in disbelief. His hands halt you when they return to the massage, however. I apologize, there isn't a greater selection, but the maintenance crew workers here kept their favorite tracks stored on the craft's memory. The sound must be routed through the whole ship, you realize. His gesture is very sweet. You lie there and listen to the singer's mellow tenor. I'm not a tenor, so I won't sing along. I'm a bass. Silas continues to work his magic across your shoulders and down your arms. Unlike a human, he never seems to tire. So then we'll skip because we've seen him not tire before. Let's be indifferent about it because we've been a few of these before. He alternates between hiding. Yeah, we're indifferent about Silas hiding himself away a little bit because he's like,
I need to get us to Almathea.
Mostly that, and like I think we're making him feel awkward with all these dirty jokes. Or just he feels awkward because he's like in the other routes. If you're not making like constant dirty jokes at him, the bad route that we just did, he feels awkward because you're kind of a shweeb to him. And in the romantic route, he feels awkward because he's like,
I am robot, I am not programmed for feelings.
okay, then we'll hit skip. Oh, hi. So we're trying to break into the navigation room this time because we want to see it because it's locked, and Silas catches us. I was just looking at the access panel. I wasn't trying to go in. That's what we picked last time. I think we picked the hi, how are ya the first time. Actually, no, we said I wouldn't have touched anything, so let's pick the hi. A human with a cracked a smile, given a subtle facial twitch, or scowled at the very least. Silas does none of those things. He's just a very angry robot and does not emote at us. He doesn't so much as blink, instead staring you down until you're fairly squirming under his scrutiny. Perhaps I did not make this sufficiently clear to you when you first awoke. You've read him being very angry already, so we'll hit skip. You swallow your defensive reaction and try to see things from his point of view, because he was like, yeah, you're overreacting, but I get it the first time, and then the angry reaction we picked the second time, so we'll pick this one. You take a deep breath to calm yourself and think. His worries aren't unfounded, and mistakes happen, and you knew you shouldn't have been anywhere near the off-limits area, and we've done this already, I think. Hey, hi, can I hit the skip button? Thank you. Oh yeah, this is a really cute, like if you're on the romantic route, you get a really cute CG of, shoutouts to that tractor going by. I don't know if you can hear it. Actually, no, it's my dad mowing. I really hope you can't hear it. You get a really cute CG where you draw constellations on the romantic route. It's kind of adorable. That seems like it'd get boring after a while. His lips quirk in that reluctant, almost smile of his. And then we hit skip, and cute CG where we're drawing constellations like last time. It's a game to you, one that you've played ever since you were a little girl, looking up in the night sky and poring over your very first set of star charts. Oh, because we picked the cartographer. The exercise is still fun and surprisingly challenging, even years later. Apparently, skill at plotting space courses is no substitute for a child's vivid imagination. You use your finger to trace the images that only you can see against the glass, and we've done that before. How whimsical of you.
How human, you mean?
Oh, don't make that face. You can do it too. Come on. Let's invite him to join us in drawing constellations. Such an activity is beyond my capabilities. His voice returns to being as remote and lifeless as the day it was you met him. The change is subtle, but you pick up on it, realizing how belatedly how attuned you've become to this strangely emotive android. You want to comfort him, but aren't sure what to do. That's me, though. How does one offer comfort to an android? I don't know, but we'll hit skip. Oh, okay. I forgot what he said here. He was basically like, you want to console me. And then he was like, you don't need to, but I wouldn't mind watching you do that. And then you're like, ooh, what? and then you'll see. You stare at him in shock. He glances your way, raising a brow at reaction, but doesn't comment on how red your face has become. You can't help it. His words are the closest thing to a compliment he's ever paid you, but you realize that he could mean them in a completely innocent, non-romantic way, so you wait for him to elaborate. His eyes make firm contact with you before continuing. I only mean that I spend more than enough time observing the stars and planets that go by on my own. Hit skip because we've seen him talk about this before. And then days go by where we are like getting ready for the thing. I have notifications and they're driving me bonkers. I'm sorry. I need to get rid of them. Yeah, I can just look at all these later. Sorry, that just tickled me or something. Release it, hand. his hand. It was nothing. Like, I don't remember exactly what it does. Let's back up. So Oh, he takes your hand in his to help you up. And then you're like, this is our choice. We can either be like we were before, or we can be like, oh, sorry, that just kind of tickled. It was nothing. Or, oh my gosh, you're holding my hand like I'm a princess or something. It's cute. But we picked the other two options already, so we'll pick this one. He studies you out of the corner of his eye, but otherwise seems content to have you following him. Silas leads you straight to a seat in the cafeteria, and we skip the food-eating scenes. If nothing else, Miss Kindle, I should be getting back to work. Oh, you should stay and keep me company for a while. Very well. You're pleasantly surprised at how readily he sits down next to you, and we've seen this in the romantic round already. We asked him about being an android once. Let's ask him about what he did before he was on the spirit. Silas folds his hands neatly on the tabletop before answering. I was enlisted only 2 years after I was equipped with advanced artificial intelligence. My existence prior to that would not interest you, I'm sure. I did not form relationships with others until after the AI was upgraded. What do you mean, upgraded? Before a unit is upgraded, their AI is very simple. They can obey uncomplicated orders, but have no ability to reason or adapt. Many cannot even do that much without a command line prompt of some sort, and they typically cannot talk. Some units go their whole existence in that state, working in menial capabilities. Working in menial capacities, rather. I, myself, used to crush rubble and clear land for construction before I was fully commissioned. Your fork hovers in the air, forgotten in front of your mouth. It's strange to imagine him living like that before you met. If living is what you should even call it, the word doesn't quite match up to your idea of life, and you suspect it doesn't match his either. The way he carefully replaces it with the term existence is quite telling. During those 2 years, however, I was kept in the LAS headquarters building, where I assisted my makers in the assembly and maintenance of other Model 51s. Oh, is that why? He turns away from you slightly, touching a fingertip over the embossed number printed on his chest. Maybe that's why he doesn't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't have a serial number, maybe? Yeah. Yes, I believe that my creator developed a fondness for me, calling me by the name Silas instead of just printing a full serial number on me like the others. There's just the tiniest hint of disdain in his voice as he mentions the other Model 51s. Odd, but then you consider how many turns his short life has taken already. Android or not, they've undoubtedly changed him. He's probably seen and done more than most of his fellow synthezoids have ever will, and because of that he probably feels about as disconnected from them as he does from humans. He's really kind of set apart. Did you like it there, working on the assembly line with your creator? Is that why you're so pale? Or, thank you for telling me this. Do you want to leave and go back to work now? I want to ask intrusive questions, but I also want to be nice to him. Oh my god, Susan, you can't ask why. You just can't just ask somebody why they're white. Let's ask him why he's white. Perhaps. He never shared his reasoning for that decision, and I never inquired. My creator treated me with rare concern and kindness. I was troubled when his tenure with the company ended. Sympathy swells within you as you take another bite. You have an idea where this story is going. As company property, I was not permitted to stay with him, and because he left, my purpose was thrown into question. You feel your brow furrow a bit in confusion. Why didn't they just keep you on for the next person who filled your creator's job position? I was not informed why they made the decision to sell me to the curators of the spirit, rather. I was not informed why they made the decision to sell me to the curators of the spirit. It is not in my nature to question direct orders. I suspect it had to do with the fact that my creator customized me to suit his preferences. The way his eyes shift make you believe that these modifications were not entirely cosmetic, despite his rather distinct look. In fact, if you were a betting woman, you'd put money on the suspicion that they weren't really legal either. That would explain why they sell him off to a disaster relief crew of all things. Rescue missions and relief efforts don't fail too often in this age, but they are classified as risky endeavors. Something you can personally confirm. It sounds like he was really attached to you. That's disgusting. They treated you like you were completely disposable. It kinda sounds like the company wants to get rid of you, dude. Let's be disgusted, because we were already kinda disgusted in our internal monologue there. His expression is so non-committal and indifferent, you practically expect him to shrug. I suppose. If you are finished eating, I would like to return to my duties now. You glance down at your tray, shocked to find that it is, actually, nearly empty. Oh, okay, sure. He pauses, eyes turning to gaze at you with such an obvious air of appreciation that you can't help but grinning in response. I hope you found my company satisfactory, Miss Kendall. I know that many humans think I am unnerving.
Most people find the attention of good-looking men to be unnerving, Silas. Ooh.
It's not like I have anybody else to talk to. Oh, nonsense. I love talking to you. Your company was exactly what I needed, Silas. Thank you. Let's thank him for his company. He bows his head, standing up. It has been my pleasure to serve. Before you can say anything more, he swiftly turns on his heel and heads for the door. At the threshold, he halts for a moment, looking back at you with a very intent gaze. Oh, he tells us about the datapad in this route. I took the liberty of acquiring a datapad for you to use in your downtime. You will find it on your bunk when you return to your quarters. We've seen this in the romantic route, though. What? You acquired a You gape after him slightly, but you don't have a chance to ask him where it came from before he turns the corner to disappear down the hall, like he did in the romantic route. Find him and hug him. Actually, no, let's not find him and hug him, because we want the friendly route. And then we message our family and tell them we love them and stuff. It's a bit too much like grave robbing is what we picked the second time. This is what we picked the first time, so let's pick this one. I don't know why you're hiding it. There's people who didn't need anymore. You're sure that wherever they are now, if an afterlife does exist, this datapad is probably the least of their concerns. The digital clock in the corner of your cabin tells you it's been a little over a week since Silas gifted you the device, just like in the last two rounds. We should not be indignant about gaining weight this time.
Wait, I could have covered it or make a good weight. I will put up with you much longer.
It's fine. At least the higher calorie meals tasted better. You grumble a little bit because you're angry because he made you gain weight, but you're nervous. You're extra nervous because you're gonna go out of cryo sleep next time. Ooh. Give him a little grin. I guess I'll see you on the other side? Or, thanks for putting up with me, Silas. You're a good friend.
Don't get too lonely around.
You're sure nothing will go wrong while I'm stuck in there? Let's tell him he's a good friend. The softening of his expression is barely perceptible, but you've gotten quite good at catching the little nuances. His lips kick up in that familiar half-smile of his. No human has ever been kinder to me, except perhaps my creator. Your smile turns a little sad at this, but we've seen this before. Everything will be alright now, Miss Kendall. You've made it safely to Amalthea. You freeze at the way he says your name. Hang on. We need to save here, because I get the sense this is important. I'm gonna pick one, and if we don't get the ending we need, I'm gonna pick the other one. Silas says it the same way. Silas says it the same way. Where's my android? Is he here? While the man closest to you takes out a small light pen to check the dilation of your pupils, his colleague with a datapad answers you with a slightly strained smile. I'm guessing from the way you're looking at me now, you got a little attached to your Tin Man? I don't blame you. That thing was obviously worth its weight in diamonds. You flinch at the way he refers to your friend as a thing, feeling something in the bottom of your stomach harden and begin to twist. He's not giving you a straight answer. Please, tell me where he is. Right. He clears his throat uncomfortably, fidgeting a bit with the pad in his hands. No, sad. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but he was taken in by the Robotic Entities Inspection Authority. Oh no! You feel your mouth go dry, a lump forming inside your throat. I argued for him, said he couldn't possibly be that compromised if he saved your life the way he did, but they told me the damage he caused himself by removing his auxiliary power core wasn't worth reversing, especially in light of the logs he posted before his primary power source shut down. Something about this isn't making any sense. You're listening, but it's like his words are evaporating in the air before they can reach your brain. What logs? What auxiliary power? He looks down at you, and the pressure in your stomach turns into full-blown nausea. It's definitely a look of pity. He reconfigured your cryopod, didn't he? Didn't you wonder how he did it? You had wondered, although it had only been a passing thought at the time, easily brushed aside since he didn't seem all that concerned about it. He couldn't rewire or deconstruct any of the hardware, but he did figure out that part of the problem was its old, out-of-date power source. He used the only modern replacement core he had, the secondary one inside him. You might have been able to make it here without it, but this way he made sure you would. Lips trembling at this information, you drop your chin to your chest so these strangers don't see you cry. The man shifts as if he means to comfort you, but apparently thinks better of it. You barely manage to speak through the great heaves of air you're taking in. And the logs you mentioned? He coughs, lowering his voice in sympathy. Yes, well, the reports weren't shared with me, but I got the impression that the Tin Man was behaving oddly, twisting his safety protocols, failing to accurately interpret data. Did you happen to notice anything like that? Tears of hurt, frustration, and anger run down your face. It was so stupid of me. That stupid android. Why did he record his mistakes? Did he want to be decommissioned? No, I don't think he did. You don't realize you spoke out loud until he answers you. Then why would he do that? He spreads his hands in a helpless gesture, like, I don't know, lady. It's programmed into them. When they feel themselves malfunction, they have to send reports to the bigwig corporation. If it's determined they're too much of a liability, they have to submit themselves for decommissioning. It's just the way it goes. Otherwise, the companies can be held accountable for any damage they cause. The man reaches into the pocket of his lab coat and digs around until he finds a small packet of tissues. He tears one off and hands it to you. The thing is, he could have decommissioned himself at any time. You look up, sniveling a bit. He could have? He sighs, nodding and handing you the entire package. Yeah. In fact, that's standard protocol when they malfunction outside of RECA's control. He held off, though. Quite a long time, actually. He just didn't want to leave me alone until I went under. He had to make sure he kept steering. He was close enough that he could have engaged the autopilot and decommissioned himself quietly before you guys ever landed here. But he didn't. He lasted all the way until his primary power core ran dry. He was never technically decommissioned. He powered off and the RECA tried to keep him that way. This isn't fair. He was my friend. Is there any way I can get him back? We're saving. I'm saving. Sorry, I just get worried about decisions when I'm so close to the end of the game. That isn't fair. He smiles softly. They really do grow on you, don't they? Tell you what, sweetheart. Why don't we get you checked out and cleared first? And then if you want, I'll take you to the RECA Center in the city. He gives you a smile that helps the hard, burning pain in your chest subside. It makes room for something else. Hope. You'll see him again. If nothing else, you promise yourself that you'll thank him for everything he's done for you. Thank him, and maybe if you're lucky, it won't have to be a goodbye. Ending achieved, like tears in the rain. So, that's all 3 endings for This My Soul. That was really, really well done. Shoutouts to the team over at Ashy. I think that's how you say their name. I'm gonna try and remember the actual. Yeah, I'm gonna type the link into my phone to make sure it works, and if it does, I'll post it in chat. Ashy.itch.io. Actually, let me just Google it, Ashi.itch.io, and then I can post a link to this in the chat, because it's really good. And I kind of want to, like... Hang on, I'll just Google This My Soul. This... My Soul... Oh, there's a song called This My Soul. Okay. Agashi, that's his name. That's why I wasn't getting it correct. Agashi.itch.io. Agashi.itch.io/This My Soul. If you enjoyed this game, go check that link out. It's going to be in the description for the folks in the stream VOD. But we're only an hour and a half in. We got another hour and a half left in this here stream at the minimum. So, I'm gonna see off stream if Agashi has any more games, because this was really well written. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So we'll quit This My Soul, and every single one of these Renpai games, when you hit quit, it acts like the game crashed, which is a hair annoying. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. It's called BookSLEEPer. And sleep is it's stylized as book and then capital sleep and then I think you'll see it when the title screen comes up, if it'll open, that is. The good thing is most, if not all, of these run on the Renpai engine, and since they're all in the Renpai engine, they all take one window capture and work. So if BookSLEEPer will open, we'll move on to BookSLEEPer. I think I'm gonna open my Twitch on my phone to see if BookSLEEPer is in the database. Everybody cross your fingers, because This My Soul wasn't. Yeah, no. So, we'll head on over to my dashboard on my phone. Ooh, dashboard. We'll be playing BookSLEEP. There we go, there's BookSLEEPer. There's 2 copies of it open though, so I'm gonna close one of them. There we go. BookSLEEPer. No search results found, so I guess we're just playing IRL. Unless there's like a visual novels general, Well, there are visual novels in here. How visual novels changed my life, maybe? No. I mean, I don't want to put the wrong visual novel. Yeah, let's just leave it on IRL, I guess. I'll leave the game on IRL since it's not here. And I'm going to change the name of the stream, because we are changing games, believe it or not. Sorry, I have an email from my bank, so I think I need to check it. Yep, I was expecting that email. I was surprised it didn't happen yesterday, actually. But I won't talk about that. It's something. It involves Kai, that's all you need to know. Anyway, so this is BookSLEEPer. This is another one of those there, NaNoWriMo, I guess. It's one of those. So this game, I'm not gonna give you anything about it. We'll just get right into it and we'll start a new game. What should we name our character? What do you think, Isaac the King? You're the person in chat right now. Thoughts? Questions? Concerns? How do you feel? How did you feel about this, my soul? Do you wish we wouldn't have skipped things? Because I can definitely understand that. I think... Well, it doesn't give us a default name, so... Since it doesn't give us a default name, I think we're gonna go with Glacier, since there's no default name. Welcome to BookSLEEPer. You're currently playing the demo version of this game, version Nano.1.1. This game features 4 routes, each in varying degrees of completeness. The microbiology route is complete, and the photography route is complete, but contains a few placeholders. The philosophy route is mostly complete, other than some endings and a couple of assets. The English route is... it's kind of there, 20% writing-wise. A lot of assets are gone, so... there are also probably a lot of bugs right now. We'd like to apologize for those in advance. They'll hopefully get fixed in the next update. This demo includes 34K plus words. We hope you'll enjoy what we have so far. I'm sure I will. Oh, that's very cheerful music. I like it. Early on Saturday morning, as I'm enjoying the warmth and comfort of my bed, a pillow flies across the length of the room and lands squarely on my face. Glacier, get up! I groan and pull my blanket over my face. Hard pass, bro. I hear the patter of Briss's slippers as she makes her way to the side of my bed. Before I can react, she yanks away my blanket, leaving me shivering in only my pajamas. Ugh, Briss! Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. This is Vibrissa, my close friend and roommate. She kinda looks a little bit like Mai from Osagao Academy. Except her hair is short, and her eyes are a different color, and she doesn't look that much like Mai, she's just a redhead. The two of us have known one another since high school, and it was natural that we'd choose to live together after we decided to attend the same university. But as much as I love her, I cannot understand how or why she wakes up so gosh darn early on weekends. Good golly. I sit up in my bed defeatedly. At least let me sleep on a Saturday. Don't worry, I'll leave you to sleep soon. I just wanted to ask a little favor. A favor? I'm gonna be over at my boyfriend's this week, and you know how he is. Can you take care of Madam... This sounds adorable. Can you take care of Madam Purberry III for me, please? I almost forgot that Briss usually stutters. She usually stutters. I've almost forgot that Briss usually studies with her boyfriend Casper, as they're both physics majors. As much as Briss loves both her boyfriend and her cat, she cannot take Madam Purberry III to visit Casper. He's very severely allergic to cats. As I contemplate my options, Madam Purberry III leaps onto my bed. Meow. Oh, you little sweetheart. You want Glacier to take care of you, don't you? Don't distract me, I'm still considering. This is cute. This is cute art style, it's got cute music, I like it. Briss probably means that she'll be away for all of reading week, which is the next 9 days. Is that what they call crunch time before finals here? Probably. If I agree to take care of Madam Purberry III, then I will have her for the entirety of reading week. Madam Purberry III is a strange cat who seems to do things on whim, so I cannot estimate how much time I'd need to dedicate to taking care of her. Regardless of whether I agree to help Briss with her cat, I'll probably spend a good amount of time studying this week. I'm an undeclared student and I'm taking one course each in English, microbiology, photography, and philosophy. It's a bit of a bizarre mix, and I'm absolutely unprepared for each subject final, since all 4 of the finals are on the same day. I groan internally as I think about how much studying I'd have to do to I groan internally as I think about how much studying I'd have to do to pass each final. I consider the more pressing choice at hand. I can either take time out of studying to take care of Briss's cat, or I can focus on my studying and let someone else take care of her. Will I take care of Madame Perbury III? Yeah, I'll take care of the cat. I decide that the best course of action is to take care of Madame Perbury III, regardless of the amount of studying I have to do. We can't just leave her out to dry, you know. Can't just let somebody else take care of my friend's cat. I want to bring the background music down a little bit because it's a little loud. Okay, and then we'll maybe up the text speed a little bit. Return to a game. Alright, I guess I'll take... I guess I'll help you take care of her. You will? Thanks so much, Glacier. You're truly my best friend. Well, we do live together, you know? She's a very masculine girl. She has my voice. Now remind me how to care for this cat of yours. Oh, about that. Briss spends the next half hour talking about Madame Perbury III. And that's it. Oh. Okay. You'll be fine. If you have any questions, you can always text me. Make sure to send me lots of pictures of her, okay? I'll be going now. Thanks again, Glacier. Someone just messaged me. Let's hope it's not important. It's just someone posting a YouTube video. Cool. Thanks. Briss grabs her suitcase and exits the room, only pausing to wave at Madame Perbury III and me. I guess it's just you and me, Madame Perbury III. I'm gonna get sick of saying Madame Perbury III. I hope the character does too, so we can say something shorter. Since I'm awake, I might as well start studying. As I attempt to roll out of bed, Madame Perbury III jumps onto my lap and curls up. I am already sick of saying Madame Perbury III. I guess I won't be studying. Okay. I end up petting Madame Perbury III for pretty much the entire day. Wonderful. When day turns to night, I finally manage to free myself from Madame Perbury III. I only have a few hours before my usual sleep time, but maybe it's enough time to get something done. Which textbook will I study before going to bed? Well, we're gonna save here so we can, not have to do all that again. Okay, so we can study Demian, which I assume is the history book. She did mention history, right? Anyway, we have Study Taming of the Shrew, which is the English book, obviously. We have Study Fundamentals of Microbiology and Immunology, 4th edition, which is pretty clearly the microbiology route. Study the Life of a Photographer, which is the photography route. And then Demian, which is the 4th route that is probably history, but might not be, because I am dumb and do not remember things. We're going to pick the photography route. I don't want to do the microbiology route, and it's the only other finished route. So, for photography route, I pick up the life of a photographer. I pick up the life of a photographer and begin flipping through its pages. I read a few paragraphs from pages I flip to, but I'm confused by all the different diagrams and charts. So, when someone tries to frame a photographic composition, they should pay attention to the proportions of something. Are these the rules of photography? Will I be arrested if I don't follow the rules of photography? I put the book down for a moment and try to remember what the professor told us in class. It's probably something about shot composition, right? As soon as the book is out of my hands, my eyelids slam shut, and I sink into my blankets and fall asleep. Note, the photography route is currently missing some sprite expressions and backgrounds and bits and pieces of the writing. All scenes from the route are completed, so, I mean, at least you get an idea of the whole route. Oh, it is another morning and we are in a field with some pretty kick-butt music. I can feel the gentle breeze through my hair, the bright light shining on my eyes and the soft ground that I am laying on. I open my eyes. We are in a dream. Where am I? Narration of field. Pulitzer quality. Beautiful. Just good. I find myself slowly stumbling around a grassy knoll, dotted intermittently with red flowers. A large bank of trees rises in the distance, and I find myself vaguely interested in it. Startled, I turn around. Let me addend something to my narration of field. Although I find myself interested in this bank of trees, a loud noise emanates from behind me, and startled, I turn around. A young man is looking at me. Hang on, one more time. Instead of all of that, okay, the original field iteration goes here. I'm not gonna edit that because this is a long stream. Oh, anyway, so we find ourselves in a grassy knoll dotted with red flowers. There's a neat tree line over there, and we're interested in it a little bit. But then, a familiar sound catches our eye. The flick of a camera shutter. And startled, I turn around. A young man is looking at me, camera held in hand. Glare at him. How dare you take a picture of me, man? Or, hi. We'll say hi. Hi. Can I help you? Sorry. My name is... I need to give this guy a voice, but he kind of looks like... My name is Luca Hilton. What's yours? Luca Hilton. Luca Hilton. The realization hits you. What? Startled, Luca jumps back a step. Are you okay? Aren't you Luca Hilton? The Luca Hilton who wrote a life of a programmer. That's me. Aren't you Luca Hilton? The Luca Hilton who wrote the life of a photographer? He gives me a bit of a puzzled look as though I've gone crazy. I've never written a book. Seriously? I stare at him bewilderedly. Did I mistake his name for someone else? I guess it's kind of common, I guess. Luca, maybe. Are you okay, miss? This guy's voice, I need to pin it down, because it's not consistent. Are you okay, miss? Glacier. That's my name. Sorry, I must have mistaken you. I know an author that has the same name as you. I want to work on it. So, are you a photographer? Or... Luca holds up his camera and grins. Yeah, I'm trying to find a perfect picture to enter for the photography contest. Really? That's great. Have you figured out your picture yet? Not yet. I'm still experimenting. By the way, what are you doing here? What do you mean, dude? I ran into you. Just found as a secret place. Not that many people know it. Oh, I'm not from around here, I guess you could say. I was just, taking a walk, and I stumbled here. Luca looks at me suspiciously. I was always pretty bad at lying.
Are you on a high school trip, or...
That's rude. I'm a college student. Luca puts his hands up.
Alright. My apologies, I didn't mean to offend.
It's alright. I'm actually learning photography in school. His eyes seem to sparkle with sudden interest.
Oh yeah? What do you know?
I laugh and scratch my head like, well, not much actually. I just started. What about you? Luca puffs out his chest like,
Ha! I'm on parole.
you're joking.
I'm not. I've won a few competitions.
Seriously?
Dead serious.
I look at him slyly like, so I guess you wouldn't mind mentoring me then, huh? Lucas scratches his head a bit before sighing.
I guess it wouldn't hurt. So, what do you know?
How to hold a camera.
Yeah, but what else?
Nothing. I'm dumb. Someone else just went live on Twitch. Maybe we'll go say hi afterward. He sighed again.
Alright. Let's start with the basics. The most important thing to a good photo is composition. Have you heard of the rule of thirds?
No, I have actually.
Well, alright.
Luca ponders for a moment, trying to figure out the best way to explain it.
So the main idea of the rule of thirds is to mentally divide your image by using 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines, and divide it into thirds. That's why it's called the rule of thirds. Once you've done that, you want to position the focus of your photo where those lines intersect. So in the end, you have 4 different points you can position focus. Or you can position focus right in the middle of those thirds. Because that's also an option. It gives it a general feel. That's how I like to focus my pictures. As an example, that tree line back there, pretty solidly in the box that the rule of thirds makes.
I don't really get it. He grabs his camera and turns it on. Okay. I need to give this guy a different voice because he's obviously kind of important, or at least needs a better voice than
I
don't know. I need to give him like a snobby voice because he's a photography guy. Like,
Are you sure? Are you,
yeah, let's give him this voice.
No, it's voice. Okay, let's say the main focus of your photo is that tree over there, right?
Luca shows me the main camera screen. There are 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines, both spaced evenly. In the end, it makes 9 boxes.
So we want to position our camera in a way that the tree lines up with one of these 4 points.
Luca points to the interactions between the lines, which were the 4 points surrounding the middle box. He then takes a picture and shows it to me.
See?
I nod, dazed a bit by how beautiful the picture is.
Okay, your turn.
He hands me the camera and I take it. He hands me the camera, just an entire car, the whole thing. He hands me the camera and I take it nervously. Can you guys see my mouse pointer? Hang on, let me fix that, because it's gonna make me a crazy person if I don't. Properties. Let's see. Do not capture my cursor anymore, thank you.
Now try to take a picture of the same tree.
Shakingly, I take a picture and show it to him. It's gonna be a big old goopy, blurry mess because you're shaking. Luca looks at it and pats me on the head. Nice job. Thanks. So, what's the point of this? The idea is that having your main focus off center is more pleasing to the eye and more natural than the subject being placed in the middle of the frame. Well, yeah, I mean, if you really want to, if you want to have the eye naturally drawn to something, you don't want to put it in the middle of the box for the thirds. You want to put it at one of those 4 points, like he said, because then you're like, oh, that's off center. Whoop, or whoop, or whoop, or whoop. You know? I see. Hey, do you hear that? 'Cause it sounds like an alarm clock. Hear what? That ringing sound? I don't hear anything. I look around trying to figure out where the noise is, but when I turn around, Luca is gone and everything fades to black. Oh. Oh. I'm starting to understand the concepts of photography, but I definitely need to study the subject quite a bit more. It is now morning with that cheerful music from before. Today is day 2 of reading week, and I have 8 more days to prepare for my finals. I feel less stressed than I suspect, but that's not a bad thing. What will we do? We could surf the internet and be a couch potato. We could play with Madame Perbury III. We could think about life. We could take photos. We could visit the microbiology lab. We could write some fan fiction. Or we could study. I feel like since we have so much to learn about photography, we should study photography. So let's do that, study. Let's study more photography book. I open the textbook and write down the names of all the concepts I don't understand. I end up with a very long list. I'm starting to understand the concepts of photography, but I need to study the subject a lot more. We just said that line a moment ago. It is now the afternoon. That shouldn't be character dialogue, it should be the narrator. Oops. I feel less stressed than I expected. That's not a bad thing. Let's take photos. I leave my room for a study break and walk around the dorm building. I see a few birds, but they fly away before I can take pictures of them. I feel like I have a better grasp of photography now. Nice. It's now evening. Well, I'm still less stressed than I'd expect, but that's not a bad thing. Maybe some variance in this line. Just a thought. Just a thought, you know. Man, this studying thing isn't very stressful. Or, you know, man, I'm pretty excited to learn more about photography, you know. The same line is kind of immersion breaking, I guess. I'm gonna try and fill in different lines every time I see this line now, just as an aid. I don't know, maybe we should surf the internet? Let's study the photography textbook. I try to replicate some of the diagrams in the textbook by hand, but my replications don't seem accurate at all. Yeah, I think I'm starting to get it, but I don't think I'm ready to take the final, so I definitely have more studying to do. It's now night. Last night I somehow dreamed about Luca after falling asleep on my photography textbook. I wonder if I could dream about another textbook by sleeping on it. Aw, I wanted to try and sleep on the photography textbook. I guess let's sleep on the Taming of the Shrew? The script for the English route is only included up to scene 2 in the version of the game. Please check back in for later updates. I blink open my eyes, squinting as they are assaulted by the bright sunlight. My surroundings are unfamiliar at best, and I rotate slowly, trying to get my bearings.
Forgive my candor, but you are clearly the most beautiful maiden that I've ever laid eyes on.
Ah! I whirl around at the unexpected voice, nearly tripping over my own feet in surprise.
Truly, your features have an elegance the like of which I've never seen on another.
I feel my face flame at the result of the stranger's no-holds-barred compliments. Thanks, I guess? You're also really pretty, though. I could say the same about you. By some miracle, I managed to get the words out without stuttering. Good heavens, what is my phone on about now? It's done charging, at least. That's always positive. My phone is just very excited to tell me things today. It's not a lie. The girl is very pretty. Feathery golden hair frames the gentle face, and her simple wine-colored dress hugs her body in a way that's pretty darn attractive. Judging by her reaction, I guess she wasn't expecting me to reciprocate. You have my sincere thanks. Neither of us is sure what to say, and an awkward silence passes between us. So, what's your name?
My name is Bianca Minola. And yourself?
Bianca Manola? Like, Taming of the Shrew Bianca? This is weird. I'm Glacier.
Well, it is my pleasure to meet you, Glacier. I'm sorry for people who like Taming of the Shrew, this is clearly the wrong voice.
Her eyes flick down to my attire, which I now realize is just my pajamas. Guess it's a good thing I don't sleep in my underwear. That'd have been real embarrassing.
What exotic raiments you wear. What country do you hail from?
Oh, crap. I wasn't prepared to answer that question. America doesn't exist yet. Oh, gosh. I come from a place very far away. You haven't heard of it.
I certainly haven't heard your brand of speech before now. Perhaps you're a woman of Spain?
Spain? Where did you get that from?
Where on earth? Well, Spain is west of Italy, if I've heard correctly.
Oh boy. Talk about a language barrier. So this is why Shakespeare plays have to be... See, this is why Shakespeare plays have got to be translated from English to English. Language evolved like crazy between now and then. You're not wrong. And there's a lot of, like, pop cultural style references in Shakespeare plays that we just don't catch anymore. No, it's a figure of speech. What I meant was, why do you think I'm from Spain? Despite her obvious confusion, Bianca doesn't question me.
Oh, I see. It was only a guess, I suppose. Your accent is not one I've heard before.
Well, it's not a Spanish accent.
What sort of accent is it?
It's, well, not from this world. I sound like a side character in a fantasy novel.
Not of this world. Are you a spirit then, or mayhap a fairy?
Yeah, let's go with that. It'll probably be easier for her to accept fairy than confused college kid from the future. Oh yeah, I mean, you can call me a fairy. I'm just visiting your world for a while, so it kind of makes it a little bit accurate. I guess the spirit would also have worked, but the cheap bit spooky scared.
To think that I have met such a rare and delightful creature as yourself. Tell me, what's it like in your world? Do fairies eat and wear and discuss?
This is gonna be fun. We eat foods that are rich and sweet, more so than you could ever imagine. Not a lie, chemicals and genetics have brought food a long way since this time period. Also spices. Only rich people got spices in this time period, broadly speaking. So, spice, it exists. Golden cakes bursting with sweetness inside. Twinkies. Thinly sliced potatoes laced with salt. A description which applies both broadly to potato chips and French fries. And meat and bread decorated with the most heavenly red and yellow sauces. A burger. Oh no. Hot dogs. Can't go wrong. And the clothing. It ranges from the simplest fabrics and patterns, simple fabric and pattern, to the most outrageous finery that there is. We draw inspiration from nature, from stories, even from your own fashions. I gesture to Bianca's dress, and she looks down on it with new appreciation, running her fingers along the fabric of the skirt. And the discussions, of course, are often the best part of being a fairy. We discuss our politics, the confessions of bears. No, the confessions of bears and what we think ought to happen in other worlds. I've even published works considering that last topic. Except I haven't written any fanfiction yet. Good try though. It's hard to not feel a little smug under Bianca's admiring gaze. Poetry is not nearly as hard as I thought either. All I had to do was string some fancy words together and I got her with the palm of my hand. It's real easy.
Your world must be flawless. I wish I could visit it.
Your statements give me pause. Well, I wouldn't call it flawless.
No?
Not at all. There are fairies who look down upon other fairies for stupid reasons, for one thing.
What sort of stupid reasons?
Little differences between us that shouldn't matter. All of the wonderful things I described, not all fairies have that. Some are denied those privileges because of those small, insignificant differences. The world just doesn't give everyone the same luck at birth. Bianca stands in silence for a moment, considering my words.
Mayhaps our worlds are not so different as we thought. That was not the right voice at all. Mayhaps our worlds are not so different as we thought.
She's right about that. I guess even though the world has changed so much, the people in it haven't followed suit. That's real pessimistic of you. Well, you really hit the nail on the head there. I thought that I spoke quietly enough that she wouldn't hear me, but Bianca gives me a very curious look. Luckily, she doesn't ask after that comment. Man, all this dream talk's got me sleepy.
And so, you've told me about your world, but how much do you know about mine?
Well, not as much as I'd like to. I'd love it if you could enlighten me.
Well, as you wish. My world is rather boring, I think, in comparison to your own. There's nothing special or mystical about the food we indulge in. The winter months we are forced to eat food that has been preserved. I must admit that a person of my status eats far better than those who are lower than I. The meats may not be magical, but we do have a myriad of different ones to choose from in the more plentiful months. Mutton is my favorite choice, I think. Well, I can't complain about what we wear, I suppose. I know very little of men's garments, but I quite enjoy the hats and dresses that haberdashers and tailors labor long and hard to create for me. Perhaps they might seem plain, but if your kind has clothing inspired by ours, it must have some value. Of course, the only topic of discussion we seem to have is marriage. Whoa, that came out of nowhere. Marriage? Marriage. Oh, are your daughters of marrying age? What dowry are you planning on offering? I know of several fine young men who may make good matches. But your elder daughter is getting rather old. You'd best get her engaged before her beauty doth the wither. I don't know if I've seen anyone so bitter ever. I don't think she's the oldest daughter, though. If I remember right, Bianca's the younger one? I've never read Taming of the Shrew. I got through an entire AP Lit class without it, so... It sounds like you're venting. Oh, I do beg your pardon. It sounds like you're speaking angrily about your own personal experiences. Oh, I suppose I am. So, are you the older daughter or the younger daughter? I'd rather not make her suspicious. I'm the youngest. My sister Catherine is unmarried, as am I, and my father has made it known that I shall remain so until Catherine has a husband of her own. But Catherine has no suitors, and I have two. Oh, Catherine was always a choleric sort, but this has only made her even angrier. I can't even converse with her without being abused by her vulgar verbiage. I remember this now. The sisters really didn't get along. And you don't say anything that might make her angry? Maybe she's just tired of people being rude to her and decided to be rude right back. Bianca's face is a picture of innocence tinged with sadness as she answers. Oh, never on my life. Bianca. Well, speak of the devil. A woman in green strides up to us, looking as pissed as if she had no suitors than her sister had too. Well, shucks! Isn't that the truth?
Well, what reason do you have to be standing out here? Father made the both of us come inside, did he not?
What reason do you have to meddle in my affairs, wretched wretch? Wretched wench, rather.
Never on your life, huh?
Father's wishes act as my reason. Not that it would matter in the least to you. You could murder a man and remain in his good graces while I am left a cursed shrew. Ooh, roll credits, cause take me to the shrew.
Your shrewishness isn't by no other fault but thine. Blame not me nor our father for it.
As if your temper is any better than mine. You may conceal it in company, but I know of your shortcomings.
You know, I thought Catherine was sort of mean to Bianca, but I kind of realized they're just both jerks to each other.
Oh, you speak of my shortcomings, and yet the only reason I am not married is because you are not.
Oh, and when these marriages come to pass, neither men shall be satisfied, or neither shall, for you are no better than I, and I no better than you.
At least Catherine knows she's not a saint. Bianca could probably work on that a little.
Well, or rather, if these marriages come to pass, there are a few who would spend the rest of their life together with you. Is this dialogue directly from the book? Because it's kind of a pain to read.
I've been watching the intense exchange like a sporting event since the cheering until now. But finally, Catherine spares me a glance. She seems surprised to realize that I've been standing there for so long. Ooh, sorry about that. She seems surprised to realize that I've been standing there for so long.
Who are you, and what do you care to have of our conversation? What care do you have of our conversation?
Although she doesn't seem to be quite as angry as before, Catherine definitely looks suspicious of me, eyeing my clothes with less than curiosity and more apprehension. Bianca, to my relief, gives me a look that signals she's letting me take the lead on this one rather than blurting out that I'm a fairy. I debate for a second whether it's a good idea to use that story on her, since she seems like a pretty no-nonsense person. But she's a character in a Shakespeare play. I can't really change my story because Bianca's right there. So, I'm a fairy. I've come to visit this world for a short time. Pixie dust! Catherine regards me silently. She doesn't really seem entirely convinced, but she doesn't say anything against the story either.
You're not here to play any tricks on humans, are you?
Well, of course not. I never.
No, a pity. Had that been your purpose, I'd requested that my sister be your first victim.
I would have asked the same for you, and mine would have been the first honored, since I met this young lady first. Anyway, she likes me.
I've been ready to say something about it. It didn't matter who would or wouldn't have been pranked, since I'm not a troublemaker anyway. But Bianca's pride in being my chosen partner in conversation is adorably charming enough to make me forget what I wanted to say for a second.
Fine, we don't have the time.
Fi? I think she means fine.
Fine, we don't have time for this foolish idleness. Come, Bianca. Father wants to see us at once.
What is so important that we cannot linger for a while?
A third suitor. For you.
I catch surprise as it flits across Bianca's face, and then another, before she smiles smugly at her sister. That second one wasn't... Oh, wait, another emotion before she smiles smugly at her sister. That second one wasn't disappointment, was it?
No, but of course, the suitor would not be searching for you, would he?
I do not wish to begin to this news. It would only be the retardiness and father's wrath.
Bianca turns her attention to me once more.
Will I see you again?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I don't think so. We're not taking the English route. I can't say I can't say for sure.
Oh, let us hope then. It was such a pleasure to speak with you. I've learned much about your world, but I'd like to learn more about you, I think. Farewell, and God save you.
You as well. And Catherine, along with Bianca, whose name I forgot to say. Catherine doesn't acknowledge my well-wishing, although to be fair, it was really obviously an afterthought on my part, instead electing to turn her back and start walking. Bianca smiles at me one final time before gathering her skirts and following after her sister in a decidedly unhurried fashion. I watch them until they become red and green blobs in the distance, a bit uncertain of myself now. The area around me is just entirely deserted, as far as I can tell. Just when Bianca and Catherine are completely out of sight, and I figure I should start walking, and I blink, and then darkness.
Oh man, I barely know anything of the play. If I took the final right now, I'd absolutely fail it.
Not my voice there.
I barely know anything about the play right now. Oh gosh, if I took the final right now, I'd fail it. It's morning.
I wake up before my alarm clock even rings. Wow, good morning! I feel like I can do anything today! Today is day 3 of reading week, and I have 7 more days to prepare for my finals. I mean, I'm not all that stressed, and I mean, that's not really a bad thing. It kind of helps me study. What do we want to do? We could think about life. We could write some fan fiction. Let's, take some more photos. I leave my room for a study break before I've even started studying and wander around on campus. Sounds like the week before finals to me. I see a few squirrels and manage to take a few photos of them. Wow, I feel like I've got a better grasp of photography now. I need to not apply a character to this voice. I mean, I guess I can. Wow, I feel like I'm getting this photography thing, you know? I feel like I kind of have a better grasp of photography. It's the afternoon. That still shouldn't be character dialogue. Man, why does everybody make a big deal out of studying for finals? It's not that bad, it's just a lot of studying. Let's take some more photos. I leave my room for a study break despite not having gotten any studying done, and walk around the dorm building. I see a few birds, but once again, can't take pictures of them. They just zipped off. It was real annoying. Man, I'm really getting this photography thing down. It's now evening. Man, this studying for finals thing isn't stressful at all. Not like I haven't studied or anything. Well, you know what? We haven't taken care of the cat. Let's take care of the cat. I sit down next to Madame Purpury III and begin stroking her. That's a please meow, right? Madame Purpury moves away from my hand and sits down beyond my reach. I guess not. Sorry, cat. Despite the obvious rejection, definitely feeling less stressed. Thank you, Madame Purpury. It's now night. Okay, it's really kind of obvious. I can definitely dream about a textbook when I sleep on it. It's either a weird ability or, you know, final stress. Gotta go with final stress, though. It would make sense. But it's kind of helped me out with studying, so might as well continue. Let's dream about photography again. Oh, this is some neat, like, techno music. The bustling noise of people awakens me. I'm back in the book?
Hey, I'm Luca. Hey.
I jump, startled by the sound, and turn around. There's Luca again, arms crossed. Hey, where'd you go? What do you mean?
The last time you met, you just kind of disappeared. It's really weird.
Oh! Sorry. I had to go.
You could have said bye.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll say bye this time. Luca sighs and pats my head. It's fine. It's okay. He ponders for a moment.
Okay, how about we try some portrait photography today?
I nod as Luca continues talking.
Portrait photography is taking Portrait photography is taking pictures of people. It's very important to be aware of your surroundings.
You want to pay attention to how the person is positioned, where they're located in relation to the environment, where they're looking, and how the light is directed on it. Luca raises his camera and snaps a picture, and he shows it to me. The picture is of a woman pushing a stroller with a child. She's stopped and looking at the window of one of the shops. Not bad portraiture. See? Here the person is looking in the window. See how the light hits to show her face? Also look. He points at a part of the camera. The stroller has to dynamic to the photo against the windowsill. I see. I nod as Luca takes his camera again for another shot. This time it's a close-up picture of a young girl and a young girl. A young girl holding an ice cream cone. I can respect that and in front of young makes sense because Y is also a vowel. But seriously, have like one of 4 or 5 like randomly generated, oh, the stunning thing isn't too bad dialogue, because it really took me out of it when I saw that line like 4 times in a row. Okay, so for this one, I focused on getting the expression of the girl. The way the light hits it, it highlights her face in the cone. Also, since the background is blurry, it really highlights the girl. How did you do the blurry background? Was it rack focus? I'll show you that another time. Okay, it's a simple thing. You can show me right now. Luca hands me the camera. Here, it's your turn. Are you sure? He grins at me and gives me a thumbs up. Good for you. Take a picture of Luca or take a picture of a stranger? Let's take a picture of a stranger. I grab the camera and carefully aim it towards a stranger. I decide to take a picture of a man sitting on a bench reading a newspaper. I click the button and then look at the screen. I think it's alright. Let me see. He grabs the camera from me and examines the photo. Not bad. Not bad? What's that supposed to mean? No, nothing. He grins at me and pats my head. Pat, pat. Well, good job, kid. I pout and cross my arms. Good kid. Yeah. Luca grabs me by the hand. Come on, let's go. Go where? Take pictures of curves. I nod and follow him, a smile on my face. We spend the entire day taking different pictures of people until the evening. Luca then checks his clock. I don't know, man. Let me check my wrist-mounted clock. After I mount it upon my wrist. Well, I hope that was helpful. It certainly was. Thanks. No problem. Well, I gotta go. I'll see you around. He pats me on the head before rushing off into the distance. Now, what should I do here? It's a real mysterious place. Before I can begin to explore, however, everything becomes black. Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely gonna pass my photography final. I love photography, it's great. Yes, I'm feeling it. It's morning. Should probably study. Good morning. I feel like I can do anything today. Isn't that the line we said before? Yeah, you definitely need some more, like, random I'm in this state lines. Today is day 4 of reading week, and I got 6 more days to prepare for my finals. I don't feel very stressed. It's kind of weird since, finals are happening. Finally, a different, like, I'm not all that stressed text. Let's take some photos in the morning. I take a lot of pictures of Madame Perbury III with my phone. I send the pictures to Brish and she replies within seconds. Less than 3, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3. I love them. Man. What was that? Gosh, I feel like I got a better grasp on photography now. Well, it's afternoon.
I'm not all that stressed. I said it the same way. Please. Random numbers are not that hard to generate, and they're very low resources. Just write like 4 or 5 lines and have a function call that says if 1, 2, 3, like just include it in your I'm in this state thing. Just have another like random function. Just add it in the switch. Like you could do a 4 option switch statement. Like you could even do it with just the function itself. You could have a function called rand that generates a random number from 1 to however many alternate options you can get, and just run it and then do a switch rand. I don't know if this is the right syntax for Python, but switch rand case 0 default line, case 1 similar line that's a little different, case 2 similar line that's a little different. Please, it's not that much more writing, and it's like 4 lines of code. Please. Well, not necessarily just 4 lines, like the switch, and then each case is 2 lines, because you have to break after each case. But please, it's very, very low effort. I would love for you to include that in the final version. Please. It'd be a wonderful thing. It would make this game just that much more fleshed out and feel that much less like it's a clearly, a programmed response. You want to just be lazy and surf the internet? Let's visit the biology lab, because we haven't studied for any of that. Take a study break by visiting the school laboratory.
I noticed a girl.
Working on some kind of experiment. I observe her at work for a while. Note how she's handling the bacteriology equipment. The girl looks a lot like Briss, actually. I wonder if it's her sister, Teresa. Man, I feel like I got a better understanding of microbiology now. Yeah, but I haven't looked at my microbiology textbook, so it's kind of huge. I should probably, study it or something, or maybe, sleep on it, because it's, the thing that's been happening. It's evening. It's really weird that I'm not stressed out, because it's finals week. Please, I should probably either get that checked out or just run with it, because, finals week makes your brain feel weird things. Let's surf the internet, because it's night. I surfed the internet and learned some things about gross germs that I really didn't need to know. 3,000 types of bacteria can be found on dollar bills. I am never touching money again. I will say the art in this game is really good. Props on that. The sprite work is great. The backgrounds are really well done. And there's a couple little things that you could, really small details you could iron out. And honestly, you probably did iron them out in the not demo version of the game. I understand that you had to write this all in a month, and that's kind of crunch time, especially if you're not familiar with either the programming side of things or the writing side of things. In my case, I don't know that I'd have very much success writing for a VN, because it's really different from what I normally write, But having a good grasp of programming, I wouldn't have that much trouble writing the code in this RenPy engine, probably. But, you can't be good at everything, Anyway, despite everything, I feel like I've had a decent study break. It's now night. We should sleep on the microbiology textbook, let's sleep on this book, because we've never touched it. The philosophy... Oh, it's the philosophy route, not history. I was close. The philosophy route is really unfinished. Only the first 4 nights are included in this version of the game. The philosophy route scenes contained in this demo total of nearly 14 K words, however, and we hope you enjoy giving it a try. Poke, poke. My peaceful sleep is disturbed by a continuous poking on my shoulder.
Ugh, didn't Bruce say she'd come back after the finals? Why is someone poking me? Listen, man, I know I'm not supposed to be sleeping this close to finals. But can I at least nap for like 10 minutes?
Hey, you think she's dead? Wait. Oh, it's a little kid. Hey, do you think she's dead? Wait, since when did Bruce's voice turn tiny? You'll know by looking at her chest, you dummy. Wait, what?
What am I supposed to look at? There's nothing there. Excuse me for not having huge water balloons like you.
Who are you two? In front of me are two boys, one looking like he's about to cry and the other wearing just a dead stoic poker face.
No. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Please, no. I'm sorry. Please don't cry. I thought you were my friend. Please don't cry. Here, have some candy that I don't probably have. Oh, I do. Have some candy, dude. I'm sorry.
I quickly take out a piece of candy, as I have as a reserve in my pocket. He's about to take it when the other kid stops him. Like, whoa, dude.
Sinclair, weren't you taught not to accept gifts from strangers?
He pauses before looking at me again.
Especially badly dressed ones?
Oh.
But she doesn't seem like anybody who would harm anybody.
He takes a good look at me innocently.
However, she does dress a little weird. I mean, like, a woman wearing pants? That's real weird. They're supposed to wear dresses, dude.
You do know that I'm still here, you know.
Don't be fooled. What she's doing is bribery. It's your silence over a piece of candy.
Listen here, you little emo kid.
People like her are cunning and will eventually take advantage of you.
Look here, you little brat.
First you insult my lack of womanly attributes, and now you're saying that I'm some sort of con artist? I will not have my honor insulted in such a way. Who do you think you are to judge me so easily?
Max Demian. This guy his voice just dropped in the middle of a line because he's just that emo.
I'm Max Demian. I'm this lad's acquaintance since he doesn't know how to choose company.
You don't, sir. Demian and I end up having a glaring competition, putting poor guy over here in an unfortunate position. Wish I remembered his name, Sinclair. Put poor Sinclair over here in a real unfortunate situation.
Demian, I think you should just let it go. She's still a lady. She's obviously older than this.
The boy whispers in the end. You heard him, Demian. Back off. I smugly look at Demian while he gives a heavy sigh, like, told you so.
A lady? I bet 100 bucks she wouldn't be able to find a husband.
Well, you must have known a lot of Marks then. And by the way, isn't human trafficking illegal? Little kids like you shouldn't be getting themselves into that kind of trouble. The two boys look at me thoroughly confused.
What's human trafficking?
Ignore her, Sinclair. She's obviously inhaled some sort of gas or something.
Did you just accuse me of being high, you little snot nose?
I believe you're an average height, miss. Also, your feet are on the ground, so I don't know what you're on about.
Are you playing with me right now?
She's definitely mad.
Shush. Well, this good sir is trying to say that we are merely talking to you.
Why are you talking like this? This is the early 1900s. It's gonna be the early 1900s. $5. Demian and Sinclair look at each other once again.
But it is.
What?
It's 1905 to be exact.
Wait, what? But that's not... Am I dreaming right now? Or did my brain just decide to commit seppuku on its own? Am I dead? Is my tombstone gonna say cause of death study philosophy?
What is happening? Where is it? What year is it? Who am I? Oh, no, I can't believe it.
I have so many memes to see. Gosh dang it. I missed out on all those sick memes like Pay.
Miss, are you okay?
Stop it, stop. I need to calm down. What's that emergency action for panic attack thing? Smell 5 things, hear 4 things, taste 3 things, look at 2 things, touch 1 thing. That doesn't sound right. Ugh, why don't I ever listen to classes?
Miss?
I feel someone hold my hand and I immediately grab onto it. I should do the deep breathing thing. Yeah, that should calm me down, right? I start heaving, trying to ground myself.
Miss, you're hurting my hand.
Should I kill her, Sinclair?
Jeez! This kid! Sinclair? I look at the boy holding my hand, whose name has suddenly become way too familiar, before eyeing the other boy. Demian? Why is that name so familiar? Oh, wait. That can't be. There's no way. I mean, what's next? You're gonna tell me that you're being forced to pay a bully some cash because you made up a story about stealing apples. I stop laughing when I see the sunken look of Sinclair. No way. Okay, I'm definitely dreaming. Is this some weird side effect of cramming week before finals? It's weird that she's confused when she's so clearly, recognized what's going on in CGs earlier than this. Maybe, have the Demian dream happen by default first, and then you can pick? Just a thought.
So that's what it is. I thought it might be. Now just one more question. Do you happen to know the name of the boy who left you back there at the Bergplatz?
What boy? There wasn't any boy there, only me.
Demian gives him an unamused look before turning to me.
What's his name? You do know it, right? Who's ringing my phone? I don't know, but it's not important right now.
I believe it was Fred Carmel?
It's Franz Cromer.
Excellent. You're alright. We'll become friends yet. First I have to tell you something. This Cromer, or whatever his name is, his face tells me he's a first-rate...
This kid.
What do you think?
Regardless of what I think he looks like, his actions were enough to convince anyone he's a top-rate guy.
Well, he's pretty bad. You must hear about this, for goodness sake. He must find out anything. Does he know you?
Chill, Sinclair. Calm down. I don't think he knows me, or Demian, or probably you.
Chill, it's not that cold.
I facepalm myself, forgetting that they don't understand 21st century slang. I meant calm down. I'm sorry. I'm not from here.
Obviously. Anyway, look at me, this Cromer fellow. He goes to a public school, doesn't he?
Yes.
What grade's he in?
The 5th, but don't say anything to him, okay?
I can see a dark gleam in Demian's eyes upon acquiring all the information he needs. Clearly anime antagonist in the making here.
Don't worry, nothing will happen to you. I take it you don't want to tell me more about this Cromer?
I can't.
Too bad. We could have carried out the experiment a stage further, but I'll just get offset. However, you realize, don't you, that the fear of them is all around? Such fear can destroy us completely. You gotta get rid of it. You simply gotta, if you want to turn to something decent. You understand that, don't you?
Well, certainly, you're completely right, but it's so complicated, you don't have an idea.
We know it's complicated, and for once I actually agree with Demian on something. Sinclair, at some point in your life, you gotta stand up for yourself. Don't take too long, or you might regret all the time you've lost just idealizing your freedom. Sinclair's like,
Wouldn't it help if I gave you as much as you own?
No, that's not it. You promise not to tell me about it? Not a word?
You can trust me, Sinclair. Tell me your secret other time.
Never.
As you like. All I mean was perhaps you'll tell me more some other time. Voluntarily, of course. I don't know the woman over there. But you don't think I'd treat you the way Cromer does, do you?
Gosh dang, I was like in great voice and I thought I could go more than 3 hours, and then I started doing these two kids' voices. And these extremes are really doing a number on me. Oh no.
I've really thought it over, and I never do Cromer's way. You believe that? Besides, you don't know anything.
I'm not into childish things like bullying anyway. No need to worry about me. I gently pat his head. Pat, pat. His expression changes, and for the first time, I see him smile.
Go home now. Just one more thing I'd like to say to you since you've gotten so far. You gotta get rid of this guy. It's the only way of doing it. Kill him. Oh my. It would impress and please me if you did. I'd even lend you a hand.
I hear Sinclair softly whimper at the thought. Although killing him is the fastest way, there are other options here. Ones that you are comfortable with.
Alright. Go on home. We'll find a way, even though killing him is the simplest. Cases like this, the simple, of course, always the best. Your friend Cromer isn't the best friend to have.
I know.
And you, it's rather impolite to not introduce yourself. You're taking part in a conversation with strangers, young lady.
Oh, right. I forgot, and I'm sorry. I'm Glacier. It's nice to meet you. I think. I shake the hands with the both of... I shake hands with the both of them. Man, for kids, they're so formal.
Before I forget, do you have any other clothes other than the ones you're wearing? Other than the ones you're wearing?
I don't. What's wrong with my clothes? I look at my pajamas to check if there's anything wrong with them.
Nothing. However, it is a bit eye-catching. I doubt you're in a position for someone who wants to attract attention. Someone's ringing my phone. Hope it's not important. It's not.
You smarty pants.
Sinclair, you go home. I'll take Glacier to the dress shop.
Okay, bye! With that, Sinclair leaves the two of us alone. I'm genuinely unsettled by this young child who is very, very intense and obviously wise beyond his years. However, I set that aside and remark, how gentlemanly of you to help me find a dress.
It's not like I have a choice. You have nothing, don't you?
I wouldn't say nothing. Besides, I like to believe this is some horrible dream.
You run away from reality, and yet you have the face to advise Sinclair. I'm amazed.
Not that I'm running away from it. The reality I've lived with since the day I was born does not coincide with the reality I'm seeing right now.
Then what is it really? What is reality? Is it subjective? My reality is different from yours. That's your notion. I mean, there's so many realities that are humans on this planet.
Broadly.
Then what if I do something immoral just because it's isn't considered immoral in my reality? Am I at fault?
Yes, immoral is immoral, dude.
But it isn't in my reality.
Well,
in fact, the law, morality, and our ethics remain constant in anyone's idea of reality. I mean, these realities are connected. Therefore, there's just one big reality. You're invalidating yourself.
I need to not speak in that, gravel voice, because I will not be able to speak anymore if I keep it up. I get it, look, it's just not easy to accept the reality that's being shown to me right now, that's all. You whine like a little girl. Should I remind you that I'm older than you? Apologies, milady. Milady. We continue to walk through town until we're in front of a dress shop. Unfortunately, this is as far as I go. I should not have this accent because we're in Germany. I'm also new to this town, and I'd rather save my mother from the disgrace of having a 12-year-old son caught in a scandal. Take this. Damien hands me a bag to pay for the dress of your choice. Good luck. Before I can thank him, he leaves. I enter the shop and find some appropriate attire.
Here's your change. Thank you, madam.
Madam? I blush at the comment. I've never been called a madam before, so it feels a bit odd. I thank the cashier back and leave the shop. Upon getting out of the shop, the world suddenly seems blurry. People are walking in an insane speed. No one seems to notice me, or rather it seems like I don't exist. Numerous people pass through me like I'm a ghost. Before I know it, everything returns to normal. I head to the alley, feeling a bit nauseous and as if feeling the effects of the early event. As I try to keep myself together, a loud crash from the other side of the alley disrupts my thoughts. Because, you know, loud crashes. They're known to do that. I immediately cover my mouth out of sheer embarrassment, out of the gross sound that just came out of my mouth.
What do you think you're doing?
An angry-looking kid shouts as a silhouette of a smaller boy emerges. I quickly hide behind one of the dumpsters. It's that emo kid from earlier. He's killing the other guy.
Tough Red Cromer, right?
Huh? Why is that voice so familiar?
Goddamn right. But who you? Demian. Max Demian.
Gosh dang it, Demian. You're gonna kill this guy, aren't you? I move a little, get a better view of what's happening.
The new kid. It's good as you're here. Me and Yoko's wanted to introduce himself. How amusing. I too have someone to introduce.
That demon grabs Cromer by the collar and pushes him to the wall with a small knife on his throat. This kid is going to kill this other kid, and we're gonna sit here and watch in shock.
What are you? This is my knife. Isn't she a beauty? By the way, I heard you're pretty close with this young lad. Sinclair, wasn't it? Oh, Sinclair? You used to do this? Don't get me wrong. I'm here on my own accord. You see, I have nothing against you, really. However, I can't approve of such a method.
Demian applies a small amount of pressure on his blade, causing Cromer to bleed a little.
Stop! Now tell me, Mr. Cromer, are you enjoying yourself? Because I really am. The sensation of a sharp blade pointing to your throat, fearing the possibility that you'll soon lay on the ground knifeless, while profusely bleeding from your throat, and the agonizing sensation of being unable to do anything but to await whether or not I intend to set you free. Is it amusing?
You bluff. A rich goody fellow like you could do something as stab.
This guy's gonna kill him. Demian stabs Cromer on his left shoulder.
Oh!
It's best that you stop your screaming before I decide to silence you forever.
This kid is just something. Demian positions his blade once again on Cromer's neck as Cromer immediately bites his lip to suppress his voice. I keep my eyes locked on Demian. His eyes are dark and sadistic. His lips are curled up, expressing his amusement. He looks and feels different, as if he's letting his demons run wild. Then suddenly he smirks.
Luckily for you, I am in a good mood today, so I'll let you off with a warning. Leave Sinclair alone, and pretend that the secret that the three of us now share doesn't exist. Run along.
Cromer runs for his life the moment Demian lets him go. As soon as he's done, Demian gives a loud sigh and puts his knife in his pocket.
You can come out now.
Does he know that I'm here?
I know you're there. Your skirt's sticking out.
I look over to my right and realize, yep, he's right. Stupid skirt. I stand up and dust myself properly before looking at Demian.
You're quite nosy, aren't you? You're already undesirable based on your looks, and your personality's definitely not making it any better.
Jeez, it's not like I'm itching to get married or anything.
Good. You're not getting a lover anytime soon anyway.
I glare at him, and out of sheer annoyance, I end up pinching his cheeks. You just saw this guy threaten someone's life with a knife, and you're gonna pinch his cheeks. Okay.
Little kids like you should be good little kids who listen to people older than them.
That sprite is adorable.
Get your hands off my cheeks, woman!
What'd you just call me, little brat? You think you can scare me with that same act? Because you're probably right. Knives are scary. I could hang you by the flagpole and leave you there.
Alright, I'm sorry. Just get your hands off me.
I stop pinching him with a victorious smirk.
I wouldn't be shocked if you naturally scare off men.
Why, you little...
What do you think of the world?
What?
The world, how do you see it? Is it good? Is it bad? What's your opinion?
My opinion is the world was originally intended to be good, however, it was eventually stained by evil. I guess you could say that we're in a war against evil. But I don't know. A reality that exists to be both happiness and sunshine and gore and gloomy. The second one. Demon seems pleased with my answer.
That's another way of saying it. I'm amazed that someone like you would think that way.
Someone like me? What's that supposed to mean?
You don't look like the type who thinks.
I will rip your cheeks off.
Seems like you're not that hopeless after all. Start wearing some black. Maybe grow a fringe. You know. Like this. Be more edgy. If you'll excuse me, I have some errands to run.
Then he leaves. I stare at the young boy's back and set my microphone back where it needs to be, hoping that he doesn't show up again. And I stare at the young boy's back until I couldn't see him anymore. I decided to roam around town since I got nothing better to do anyway. I stop when I see Sinclair cautiously moving around. Good day, Sinclair. Ah! It's just you. Please don't scare me like that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. In fact, I was just greeting you. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling well today. Oh, good day, you too. You look like you need some company. Mind if I join you on your walk? I would love that, thank you. We start to walk quietly around town. He shows me some of its sights. However, I can't ignore the fact that he seems to always be on edge. Sinclair? Huh? I mean, what is it? Is something bothering you? What would you do if you were in my position? Would you tell your parents or handle it yourself? Well, since Edgy McFringe already handle it by myself. But isn't it difficult? It is, but if I brought this on to myself, I gotta solve my own darn problem. I made this bed, I'll sleep in it. That's not what I would actually do, by the way. I would definitely seek out help. I'm not that prideful. Like, if I don't see a clear solution, I will ask someone for advice. I'd only bring my parents to it if I've done absolutely everything and still nothing. I mean, like, yeah, obviously. I mean, if I see several solutions to a problem, I'm gonna try them before I'm like, I need help. But that's just kind of common sense. I see. Hearing your answer made me realize how weak I am. You're not weak, though. Are you so sure I'm not? Yeah, I did try to handle it myself, but in reality, I'm just running away from it. I give in to his demands and say nothing like a coward. I can't even look my parents in the eyes anymore. You're making it sound like a little bit too much, dude. I've stolen from my patient. I've stolen from my parents. But you did say nobody asks for your sister. What? Asks for your sister? What? We never learned this. How did you know? How much you know? Just that much. I won't hold it against you, I swear. You know, handling it yourself doesn't always mean by yourself. Yeah. You know, handling it yourself doesn't always mean by yourself alone. Helping and sticking with you through thick or thin, that's what friends are. Like your friend Edgy McFringe Face. Oh, my friends are afraid to come around. I haven't talked to them lately. What about Demian, the Edgy Fringe Demon? I don't consider him a friend yet. We're just met after all. He seems pretty interested in you. Maybe you should give him a chance. Maybe. Sounds of bells disrupt our conversation. I have to go. I have something with my parents today. It's nice talking again. Bye. With that, Sinclair runs off. The world around me starts to blur out. The world around me starts to blur out as different images are shown to me. I see Cromer running away from the right side of Sinclair. I see Demian and Sinclair talking under a tree. And lastly, I see Sinclair crying to his mother, probably confessing what's going on. Then everything fades to black. Oh, I barely know anything about Demian or philosophy. If I took the final right now, I'd totally fail it. That's a cute sprite, though. It's morning. My alarm clock rings and I sit up in bed. Madame Perbury III yawns and nuzzles against me. As Briss might say, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Today is day 5 of reading week. I've only got 5 days left. It's weird, man. I don't even know anymore. I'm not stressed, even though finals are 5 days out, and I'm like super study bros. It's weird. Let's take photos. I leave my room for a study break before even starting to study and wander around on campus. I see a few squirrels, which is nice, and I take a couple pictures of them. Man, I'm really getting this photography thing down. It's afternoon, but I'm still not very stressed. It's just super weird. Like, I don't even know, man. I think I'm just starting to shut down or something. Let's actually study. Let's study photographer things. Even though I'm pretty confident with photography, I review some of the diagrams to ensure I got them memorized correctly. Dude, I got this down. I'm 100% completely ready for my photography final. I love photography. I want to pursue it. Yes, please. It's evening. I'm still not stressed, which is a little weird. Like, I just can't deal, man. It's real funky. Even though we're not stressed, actually, since we're not too stressed and we got our photography final down, might as well surf the internet. I spend a few hours watching cat videos on the internet. Oh wow, look at how high that cat can climb. Golly gosh. Wait. Is he stuck? Cats are so dumb. Oh man. What? Can everyone else see that? What in the world? That's a weird little bug. Take notes, developer. I don't know why it's doing that. That's real weird and I don't like it. That is really just funky. Maybe it'll go away if I keep clicking. After taking this break, I feel refreshed and ready to work again. Oh, thank Hylia, it went away. It's nighttime. Better do a photography sleep. Ooh. This time when I open my eyes, I'm at a park. Hey. He waves, walking towards me. I grin at him. So, what are we learning today? I was gonna teach you landscape photography, but I don't have much time. Oh. Luca hands me a camera. Remember the rule of thirds? Yeah. Remember what you learned about portrait photography? Yeah. Good. Now go practice. Glaring at him, I look through the lens. Landscape photography, huh? How do I do this? I position the camera to face the bridge and take the picture. After, I aim for a tree and try and take a picture of that. Lastly, I try to capture the lake. I hand the camera back to Luca. Here. Luca looks at the camera and he nods. Wow, good job. He's got to have a different voice. My throat won't handle any more of it. I'm 100%, 120%, like, I'm getting actually good at photography, and I really want to pursue it. It's morning. Madame Purbury jumps out of bed after me and stretches on the floor. Wow, I feel just wonderfully rested. I'm having a good morning. I feel ready to do anything. We've got 4 days left to get ready for finals, and I'm not at all stressed. Man, I'm just walking on air, dude. It's great. Let's actually study for a final we haven't studied for. The Demian final. I open the book and then sigh and close it again. I read the synopsis on the back of the book instead. I mean, I'm getting the general ideas for Demian, but I definitely need to read this book more. It's the afternoon, yay! I'm not that stressed, but like not walking on air like I was before. Studying kinda does that to you, you know? Let's study some microbiology, because we haven't been given that one some fun. I look at some of the pictures in the textbook, but the gross germs look the same. I don't know anything about microbiology. If I took the final right now, I'd bomb it. Okay, that's weird. That is really weird, and it's only in the night portion of things, and it's like reflecting it. Maybe if I make the window smaller. No. No, that's not fixing it. That's not fixing it. That's really not fixing it. Oh, that kind of fixed it. That's still super weird, though. And now my capture is broken? What in the world? Properties. This is weird. This is real weird. I don't feel very stressed. It's kind of weird, though. Much like this window bug that I have no idea why it is occurring. Like, that's funky. At developer, please fix. I create him. Too weird 5 me. It's real weird. I'm not gonna be able to fix it by changing the window size, so I guess make it back to the default size or something. Gosh dang it! Now there's gonna be a black bar on the side of things, isn't there? Oh, okay. I'm gonna run with this window size. Okay, everybody alright with that? Oh, I didn't mean to surf the internet. Oops. I surf the internet and admire beautiful photos by renowned photographers. Nature's really pretty. I'm also upside down in the right corner. I hope someday I can take pictures like these. After the study break, I feel refreshed and ready to work again. It's nighttime. Actually, I'm gonna be right back because I kind of have to go to the bathroom. So that BRB was actually a picture of my bookshelf in my room. You know, that's now there's a bunch of graphical glitches on the right side. I kind of want to save and restart the game. You know, let's do that since we're just coming back from a BRB. Save there, and then go to title. Yes, go to title screen. Quit. We'll quit the game and then we'll restart it. Yeah, this game has a lot of potential, I think. And I'm glad that it's just a demo, because that means that a lot of the potential things that I didn't really care for can be fixed, you know? And I'm also wondering, is this just a demo because they didn't finish writing it? Didn't have time to finish writing it? Or is it a demo because they weren't done? You know, was the code done and the writing not done, or was both the code and the writing not done, or what, you know? It's weird to say, because it seems so, like, obvious, but I enjoy drinking water. Water and tea is about all I drink anymore. I occasionally, rarely have a soda. So we'll load the game right where we left off. And we'll sleep on the germ book, because we haven't done any studying with that one. Good, we don't have any of those weird graphical bugs. Let's not resize the window, because I think that's what did it. We'll sleep on the microbiology book. Ooh. The microbiology update, the microbiology brood is complete, other than possible minor additions in later updates. We hope you enjoy it. I shake my head, clear the cobwebs, and look around me. What in the world? Oh, that's a good sprite. It's all like vintage and old-timey and looks in place, you know? I dig it. What in the world is this? Where am I? I look around me and see beakers and test tubes everywhere. I'm in a lab, but not any of the ones I've had classes in. It really doesn't look like the college lab at all. Did I stumble into someone's research lab, or are we in... Anyway, I definitely shouldn't be here. I turn around to look for a door and leave when I spot a strange woman. Oh, we're talking to Mary Curie. Okay, because she definitely did microbiology. Wasn't at all the person who discovered radiation or anything. Oh, who are you? I stall, trying to think of his excuse. You should not be here. I know. We have important work to do. I throw up my hands. I know, jeez.
Marie, where are your notes on the Spallanzani experiment?
You really shouldn't be here.
I said, where did you put the notes? Oh. Marie, who is this? Not a student, surely.
That is precisely what I'm now trying to find out. The man turns and fixes me with a very intimidating stare. I recognize him instantly from the photograph in my textbook, but you don't recognize Marie Curie? You're Louis Pasteur!
Yes, I know that already. I'm trying to establish who you are.
My name is Glacier. I'm a student.
I think I would have heard of such a thing. That as it may be, you're still in my way. Marie, take the girls out for the day. The caterpillars need more food. Of course.
Marie grabs me suddenly by the shoulder and steers me to the door. That was odd. You will have to forgive my husband. You know how geniuses are. I don't, actually. His work is very important. His work on silkworms? Sericulture. Sericulture is vital to the economy of our lands. Right. The germ theory has far-reaching implications. Maybe this isn't Marie Curie. I just assumed that it was Marie Curie because of Mary. I might be wrong. It might be Marie Pasteur. I don't know anything about microbiology anyway, so sorry. There's so much more to it than preventing wine from going sour. Once Dr. Lister is published. But do you know anything of the sciences at all? Excuse me? I'm a computer scientist. As you claim to recognize my husband, you must be familiar with his body of work. Well, yes, of course. Although I'm more familiar with the work of Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace. Didn't he do that experiment in the glass bottle with the twisted neck? He won an award from the Academy des Sciences for that experiment. Right. Germ theory. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna fail my exam. Not if you apply yourself. We reach a stand of trees with broad green leaves, and Marie plops down the basket in her hand. That basket needs to be full of leaves before we go back. What? Why? What for? So many questions, so little work. Isn't asking questions what makes you a good scientist, though? That's part of it. The rest, as I said, is mostly hard work. Today that means filling this basket with leaves from those trees. Sorry, I'm just making sure that everybody knows I'm not playing This My Soul anymore. We're playing BookSLEEPer. On to a new VN called BookSLEEPer. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew, because one person voted in the poll, actually. When I started, no one had voted in the poll, but they picked to play a different VN. So. What kind of tree is that? White mulberry. Their leaves are the only things silkworm caterpillars will eat. I love mulberries. I love mulberries so much, and I hate that they're considered a pest plant, because I love mulberries and I want them all the darn time, and they're only barely ever in season. And white mulberries are even better because they don't stain your hands purple. It's lovely. And there's one white mulberry tree that I know of, and it's on my grandparents' farm. And then there's a bunch of normal mulberry trees. And the best part about picking mulberries is you get to go out and, like, you know, duh, when you're a little kid, climbing trees is neat. But also you just eat mulberries, and it takes you forever to fill like a gallon bucket because you're eating mulberries the whole time. Yeah, it's lovely. It's one of those, nostalgia tinged summer memories for me. And I never ever got a piece of the mulberry pie because I was always too slow. I knew that. Yay me. You take care of the silkworms? I'm glad to help my husband with his research. His work would go so much more slowly without my help. But do you really like doing this? These worms are kind of gross. Science is usually gross. Well, truer words are never spoken. Marie sighs and shakes her head at me. I'm very proud of Luis and his work. He's been very successful in his publishing, especially considering his age. His work will definitely go down in history. I know that. But she doesn't. She hasn't read those books like I have. Like I'm supposed to have. Because I read it. Not at all. I shake my head and get back to work. It's surprisingly pleasant climbing the trees and stripping the leaves off the young green branches. Even if it is just a weird dream. The dense trees give the air a thick, gooey smell of greenery, and you're not gonna have any of the mulberries, dude? Duh. I don't know, maybe they're not in season at this point, I don't know. And Marie smiles at me as we work. There's something soothing about it. And I wake up in a much better mood than I was when I fall asleep. That is a much more seamless transition than everything faded to black and then I woke up. I'm starting to understand some of these scientific concepts, but I definitely need to study more. It's morning! I wake up with a yawn, and Madame Perbury yawns as well and jumps off my stomach. Man, that was a pretty good sleep. I'm feeling refreshed. It's day 7 of reading week. I got 3 days to prepare for finals. I'm not that stressed. I mean, I'm definitely not as not stressed as earlier in the week when I was just feeling it on fire, but that nice dream definitely helped keep my stress levels down, Let's study some. We haven't studied any of the English at all. Actually, we haven't studied Demian either. We need to study Demian. I try to identify some character archetypes in the story, but I realized I mix up some of the character names. Don't worry. I kind of call the one guy Edgy McFringe Face because I couldn't remember his name, so you and me both, dude. I'm starting to understand Demian, but I need to read the book a lot more. It's the afternoon. Still not all that stressed, though. Even though I just did some studying, it's still pretty chill. Let's study Taming the Shrew, because we haven't done that yet. I flip through the book and feel intimidated by the number of acts and scenes. I mean, I have a broad understanding of the play, though, but I definitely need to study more. It's evening. Still not all that stressed, even though I have been studying for most of the day, unlike the rest of the week. Let's study some more Demian. I try to make some diagrams of character relationships, but man, them details, they really get me. I guess I'm understanding Demian, but I'm definitely not ready for the final. Let's sleep on microbiology again. What? This again? Why does this keep happening?
You again. Where did you come from this time?
I spun around quickly and saw Pasteur standing in the doorway to his laboratory, his arms full of weirdly shaped glass bottles. Duh! He frowns, crossing his arms. Should I explain how I got here? I don't know how I got here. Well, when in doubt, honesty is the best policy. Listen, I'm just as confused as you are, guy. He snorts.
Then make yourself useful and take these flasks.
No more larvae?
I suppose Marie must have told you about my experiments when you last visited.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Also, I read about it in a big textbook that's written more than 100 years after he died, but okay. An English physician has written me about his surgical experiments. He believes he can prevent both sepsis and gangrene. Naturally, he thought first of my work on the fermentation of milk.
Well, naturally. I'm not sure he understands sarcasm, though. Must be a genius thing.
He has begun to treat his patients with carbolic acid to disinfect their wounds.
Ooh, that sounds like a bad time. Wouldn't it be safer to just boil all his surgical tools? Pasteur throws his hands up in the air. Not you too! What do I say? Wait, if you're working on antiseptics, then this lab must be full of gross germs. I hope I don't come down with something. Bah! Bacteria are not gross. Most of them are completely benign to humans. Why do I feel like I should have known that already? Alright, because this is going to be a test.
It is true, however, that my current work revolves around pathogens. If you take proper precautions, however, no harm will come to you.
Yeah, alright, okay. I want to do well in my microbiology class, probably pay attention to what he says.
Precision is vitally important in scientific research.
Military precision and discipline. Military precision and discipline. Nothing is more important than discipline for training a young mind like yours. Nothing? You disagree? Do you think there is some virtue more significant to a scientist than discipline? Empathy? Now you sound like my wife. Your wife is very smart. You should give her more credit. He looks genuinely baffled. Of course. I would not be able to continue my important work without her assistance. She could be doing more than assisting. Actually, a little ticked about it. Already the germ theory has affected medical practice. What more could we do if we used it to not only treat injured soldiers, but infectious diseases? Cholera, smallpox, influenza, even the plague. Influenza? The influenza struck Europe not 10 years ago. It strikes all people, but some are more vulnerable than others. The elderly, the ill, children. They're the first to die. Pasteur clears his throat.
The child who falls ill and survives will never be prey to the same illness again,
As we've seen with the smallpox in the past.
the immunity lasts a lifetime.
Induced immunity is proven as effective, at least in the case of the cowpox vaccine. And yet we persist in isolating smallpox patients, even though we may have a more effective treatment within reach. He sighs deeply, like a long-suffering prophet. What does he mean? The Parliament has declined to make smallpox vaccination compulsory. They say the process is not reliable. He's still very upset about it. I am not upset, Marie. I am indignant. No, of course you are, my dear. It is but a temporary setback. Eventually they will see reason. Well, they might. But people... No, I won't go there. That's political. I'm sorry. The future marches ever forward. Smallpox was eradicated way back in the 70s. I wonder to tell. Maybe someday vaccines can end smallpox altogether. Marie stifles a cough in her hand. Why do I get the feeling she's laughing at me? Well, it's worth striving for, isn't it?
Ambition is only one building block of the truly visionary scientist. If you want to realize your visions, then you had best get back to your studies, just as I must get back to my work.
His oddly encouraging words stay with me when I fade back to awareness in my dorm room. Wow, the microbiology textbook, the microbiology route is much more well done already than all of the other routes I've done. Bleary-eyed, my face stuck to the open page of the textbook I dozed off on. I mean, I have a basic understanding of the concepts here, but I don't think I'm ready to take the final. It's morning. I roll out of bed, and so does the cat. It stretches on the floor. Wow, I've rested really well. I'm having a great morning. I feel ready to do anything. I'm gonna board myself in my dorm and study. Even though I'm not that stressed, I might get stressed today because I'm studying a whole bunch. let's study Demian, because I don't want to sleep on Demian, because the voices are a pain. I try to explain the book's themes to myself, but I'm not really sure exactly what the themes are. I have an understanding of Demian, but I'm not really ready to take the final. Well, since I'm not ready to take the final, even though I'm not that stressed, maybe I should bump up my stress a little bit by studying Demian. I draw a diagram detailing Emile Sinclair's journey of self-discovery. Man, I'm actually feeling a little bit up for the exam. Maybe I should study the book a little more. Well, I'm still not that stressed though. But, maybe studying will increase that. I reread the book and jot down some notes about how the events go. Oh man, I definitely am ready for the philosophy final. I think I got a better appreciation in Demian now. It's kind of nice. It's nighttime. Let's sleep on microbiology. This time when the lab materializes around me, I don't even blink.
Hello again, word without penicillin. Ooh, you're lame because you don't have penicillin and all that. Nice to visit and all.
I wonder what would happen if I told Pasteur about antibiotics. Probably nothing. I mean, I'm not really in the past, am I?
Am I? Glacier, have you come to visit us again?
I should just name my character Young Lady. I should have named my character Young Lady, because that would have fit perfectly and I wouldn't have felt awkward saying my own name. He doesn't look too surprised about it. Yeah, well, the alternative is studying for exams, so might as well help you. Well, he doesn't like the sound of that, though.
You will get nowhere in your education with an attitude like that.
Oh, well, I like coming here better. I feel like I'll learn more.
She's learned the art of flattering. You'll go far with that, young lady.
We both laugh. It gives me a second to take in the changes in my surroundings. Pasteur looks older, more tired, almost frail. Has he been ill? I was falling asleep on my textbooks, so I thought I might come and visit.
We've not seen you in some time. A great deal has changed in the world.
Well, not just in the world.
The war with Prussia has not had a favorable effect on the sciences. Military surgeons are reluctant to accept the need for antisepsis in field surgery.
So many lives could be saved. A surgeon wears the blood of his patients as a decorated soldier wears medals.
They are too proud to listen to reason.
Even those who promote the cause of sanitary conditions in hospitals do so at the expense of germ theory. They prefer to cling to the explanations they've known for centuries.
I guess it's hard to let go of what you think you know.
Even Dr. Lister's success with antisepsis measures has faced scrupulous opposition from those that call themselves supporters of germ theory, no less. Scientists can be very stubborn.
She seems more amused than anything.
I know you're talking about me, Marie. I'm not a fool.
Of course not, my dear. I meant nothing of the kind.
I have to suppress a giggle.
And how have your studies been coming along, young lady?
Diligently, I should hope.
Well, I'm doing my best. Pasteur frowns, but Marie smiles at me encouragingly.
As long as you're making your very best effort, I'm certain you'll succeed. As long as you're making your very best effort, I'm certain you'll succeed.
Thank you. I'm actually starting to get the hang of things, I think. I can't wait to see what we'll be learning next semester.
Well, the spirit of scientific curiosity is certainly commendable.
I guess you're not wrong. I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing in my biology. I'll probably do alright on the exam.
I wish you the very best. The endeavor you undertake is not a simple one, I know, but rest assured you're not the first or the only one attempting it.
I'm real glad I'm not going to college at this time period. That'd have been real bad.
Do not underestimate the girl, Marie. With hard work and discipline, you can achieve anything.
By now I can tell what's coming next.
Yes, we'd both get back to work.
However,
Much our daughter wishes me to pace myself, there remains work to still be done.
What was that about?
I do still have quite a bit of studying to do. I suppose I have to keep up with my other subjects as well. I watch the two of them as they set up for their work. Louis busies himself with the lab equipment, obviously setting up some kind of microbial culture. Marie sits nearby at the ready, pen and notebook in hand, to take notes on his work. Before I know it, the laboratory fades away around me. A moment later, I found myself waking up in my room. Man, I feel like I'm almost ready for this microbiology exam, but there's still a couple things I should review. Well, might as well get out of the way. My alarm clock rings and I sit up in bed. Madame Purbury III yawns and nuzzles against me. As Briss might say, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Today's day 9 of reading week. It's my last day to prepare for any finals. I'm still not that stressed though, even though finals are tomorrow, so, I mean, we're going places. Let's study microbiology, because we need to. I reread the textbook a couple times and make some flashcards of the scientific terms. Wow, I'm definitely going to pass my microbiology final. I think I'm getting a hold of it, and I really just am enjoying it quite a bit. Well, it's the afternoon. Not that stressed, even though finals are tomorrow. Suppose I should study Taming of the Shrew some more, since I've got a handle on everything else. I read the script and look up several words I didn't get, and realize I don't understand a lot of words. I'm starting to understand the play, but I definitely need to study more of it. It's evening. Still not that stressed, even though finals are tomorrow. Let's study Taming of the Shrew one last time, and then we'll sleep on the photography, I think. I try to draw a diagram based on the family trees, friendships, romantic interests, and disguises, but I throw it out because it's just real confusing. I think I got a basic idea of the play, but I'm not ready for the final. It's the last night before my finals. Which one will I sleep on tonight? Gosh, this is just a real difficult choice. I'm just gonna take it easy tonight. I need to rest up before finals after all. I change out of my pajamas and finally exit the dorm room after having boarded myself in for 10 days. Before I leave, I check that Madame Purbury III has everything she needs for a few hours. It's unfortunate that all of my finals are on the same day, but I finish all the exams on time. I look at my success on the finals as I walk back towards my dorm. The first exam I took was English, and oh boy, did not go well. Definitely failed. I think I only knew the basics. Definitely need to study more. Well, the second exam was microbiology, and I definitely managed that one. That was a good one. I think microbiology is pretty exciting. I can't wait to try out some experience of my own. I definitely passed the photography exam though, and I really just enjoy taking pictures. I really want to take some more, take a couple more shots whenever I've got free time. Last exam was philosophy, and I'm pretty sure I passed it just fine. I like Demian, and maybe I'll read some more books like it in the future. It's a shame the only thing I didn't pass was English. Maybe if I spent a little less time goofing off on the internet, I don't think I passed all of my classes, but at least I did well in some of them. Might have to retake the English class I didn't pass, but hopefully I can graduate on time anyway. I still don't know what I'm going to major in, though. As I head back to the dorm, I think about my strange ability to dream about textbooks by sleeping on them. What are the characters I met in those books are doing, and whether I'll meet them again? Probably not, but it was fun while it lasted. I head back to my dorm room, imagining how Madame Purbury III is going to greet me on my return. Ending. Forever alone, but with a cat. Well, someone else's cat. You have obtained Special Ending 2. This ending will be revised in a future update and new content will be added. Thanks for playing!
Well, that was neat. That was a fun one. I like it. That was BookSLEEPer. It definitely has a couple areas where it needs a little spit and polish, but this was a demo after all. I think it's pretty clear that it's entirely possible to do... it's possible to do well on all of your classes. Like if I'd have spent maybe 1 or 2 less cycles on internet surfing and spent those 2 cycles doing English, I definitely would have had enough to pass all 4 of my classes. Which, is pretty true to real life. As long as you don't goof off and you're studying hard enough, I mean, you don't even need this young lady's dreaming on textbooks abilities to, pass your finals. If you've been paying some attention all semester, or you have a good grasp of the concept anyway, and you study for your finals, plentifully, I suppose, things work out for you, But that's just my experience. Let's look at the extras menu before we go. You're playing a demo of BookSLEEPer. Okay, so here's the team members. Type their name into the main character name screen if you want to find out what they did. I'll hold on the screen for a little bit so you guys can get all of that. That's a neat little Easter egg, though. I might do that off camera or something. Okay. Ooh, I didn't mean to quit. Oh well, guess we don't get the peaceful dreamer music. Ooh. But that's the stream, everybody. I went a little longer than last time, and if I hadn't, if I hadn't done the Damien voices, I think I could go even longer. Maybe 4 to 5 hours. That one, I'm going to post a link to that one in chat before I go, actually, as well. So let me just pull it up. Let me just Google BookSLEEPer. HIO. And then we'll find the link I'm looking for. Yeah, BookSLEEPer by Alcor Inc. With 10 minutes 31 seconds before the deadline. Oh boy, you guys really got it in under the line. That was a nicely done. Okay, so this one is Alcor etc.itch.io/BookSLEEPer. I'm interested in seeing the full game of this. I think at some point I'm gonna try and find the full version for this and see if I can play it on stream. Here's a link to the itch.io, which will also go in the video description. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I've missed streaming, and visual novels are really something I've actually enjoyed streaming. Next week, I think we're gonna move on to the next visual novel. I'll tell you about it when we get there, but with that in mind, we had a good time with BookSLEEPer, and I would suggest keeping an eye on BookSLEEPer because it shows a lot of potential. So anyway, see you guys next week.